Well, hello, everybody. It is that time of night, time of week, Tuesday night, 7 p.m. Time for your favorite show of the week, The Professionals. Six fun-loving guys getting together, talking about comics and making weird tangents throughout the night. That is what we do and what we are known for. And we thank you all for joining us. We are a rotating show, and tonight it is my night. Andy Smith, 34-year veteran of the comic book industry. Say hi to a few guys in the chat. I stole Gary's youth. Hello. Matt Cisco Moromi, Catalyst Vault, Pastmaster Dan Grifter, Marcus Kelligrew, Chris Thacker. Hello, and hello everybody else watching and those that are going to be tuning in. We have a fun show tonight. It's about regrets, as in we all, even though I say I don't sell my art, for a period of time I did in my youth. And we've all gotten rid of pieces of art. And then right after it's left our hands or a year later, we're like, oh, I wish I had that back. So it's about regrets. And we'll be sharing pieces of art, probably from screenshots of the printed comic that we wish we didn't sell. So that is the topic for tonight. Let's bring in our dudes here, our guys. This guy, because I still have these and I want to use them. Our first guest looked like this back when he was a super stud. There's no way he looked like that when he met his wife, because I would just imagine her probably would have kept on walking by. But he snagged her. So there you go.
Yeah.
Whoa, that is bright.
I know. I got to do something with this overhead light, man. I put a scrim on it or something so it'll be a little softer.
Yeah, do a screen with some stars or something.
There you go. I like it.
Fleckling stars. And then our next guest looks like this photo was used for his audition for Top Gun. Goose did not get the job. Anthony Edwards did, but that's good. He would have been killed in that movie anyhow. Dan Fraga.
Please don't go, girl. Can't live without you.
That's right. That's right. This guy looks like he was a detective when he was in high school.
Team Columbo.
Yeah, it totally does. This is straight out of 21 Jump Street, right there.
One more question, guys.
And that is Graham Nolan.
Well, I do come from a long line of cops, so
I know. I know. Graham walked into school and they're like, "Oh, narc's here! Narc down the hall! Narc down the hall!"
Actually, my very first day at kindergarten, I missed the bus, so my dad picked me up in the squad car and took me in and walked me in. So now all these kids are already set in the class, and the door opens and they all turn. And I'm standing there with a cop.
Nice.
Dun, dun, dun.
If only he took you in with the lights going.
Rebel.
Yep.
He should have drove you in with the lights going too. So
right. Yeah, that's all.
That would have been fun. Our next guy, as I can see down below, is not even at his freaking chair.
That's
He
got to
pops
be Billy.
in. I hear the boop, and he's not even at his chair. But it's the guy that that at a time could actually skate and play hockey, and that's before he probably hurt his knees, hurt his back, and jumped out of planes too many times. But he's not here. Well, you know what? We'll just talk to an empty chair. Hello, Mr. Teen Sensation. How are you?
Let's get Clint Eastwood to come and talk to
us. Exactly.
I know. That's what I was thinking. Man, talk about rude.
Maybe he's
Hopefully he can hear us.
Maybe he's got some of that invisible man stuff going on. All you got to hear is see that little Paul Lynn, whatever they call that kerchief that hangs around his neck. Ascot.
What if he fell out of his chair and he can't get up?
I'm going to interview him. No. I'm going to interview him. Billy, you're a teen sensation. I'd like to know your favorite comic and why is it Escape from Monster Island? Uh-huh.
Oh.
Well, I can see.
Very good question.
Thank you, Billy. That's too nice. I mean, really.
Too good.
He is utterly speechless.
Oh, my
wow.
God.
Oh, Billy. And then, of course, Art to Bear should be here, hopefully sometime today. We actually haven't seen
he's
him.
eating dinner right now. It's 6 o'clock in Texas, and he's eating dinner. And gosh darn it, he is not going to be on the show till he finishes his dinner.
Well, that's good.
Man needs his energy.
That's right.
He does.
He's
Well,
an
you
older
know,
gentleman.
he is.
He is.
He's the guy, because I probably won't bounce back to this. I mean, look at this. I don't even know if it's really the same guy when he I mean,
I could see it in the eyes.
yeah.
And that's it. The
But
bear
I mean,
has
this guy
these,
looks like
eyes.
he's like the Art we know is what, maybe 5'3", and this
Yeah.
guy looks like he could be 6 feet
Right?
tall.
He looks so much taller.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You know, it's that extra. Like if I did this with my hat, you know, like
Extra.
you know what I'm saying?
Yeah, I mean, if you patted Art on the head from that high school photo, your hand would go down quite a bit before you hit skull. So,
Billy, quiet down. Stop saying those things about Aaron.
Yeah,
Billy, come on, we're trying to have
I'm-
a show here.
He takes
Decorum,
shots
buddy.
constantly.
decorum.
This is just the
Yeah.
time for Billy to hit the can. I mean,
Yep.
it's just so unprofessional. Well, before we start with the actual topic, what do you guys think about the Diamond news of them filing Chapter 11?
I think it's
It's-
reorganization.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You know, that's what Chapter 11 typically is.
Yeah.
I think it's Chapter 13, which means you're like out.
Right.
Oh, okay.
But Chapter 11 is usually used to reorganize. So they're going to probably sell off aspects of their, unproductive parts of their distribution system, and tighten things up a bit. But in the long term, it doesn't look good. I'll say that. It's,
Oh, yeah.
it's not a good look. But
did
I
you re-
wouldn't worry if I was a retailer that they're going to go out of business. But on the
Well,
plus
the
side
problem is, though,
this is
so-
the end of this is the end of monopoly.
This is the
companies.
Yeah.
this is the thing with Diamond, though, because I know I think I'm the only one that still hits the
Oh
shop
my
every
gosh! Look
Wednesday.
who's here. Thanks for joining
Oh,
us.
Billy's here.
I'm here. Hang on.
Oh, now he's.
Oh,
Oh,
We've
we've
been-
been hanging
buddy,
out.
we've
I
been-
interviewed you.
Andy's
We've been
out.
hanging on, bud. What are you talking about?
So, no, Diamond, they've been having issues no pun intended, the past few weeks with stuff showing up a day late and stuff because they closed down. Is it in Pennsylvania? One of their
Blacksburg.
warehouses they closed down,
Blacksburg.
and it. Oh, okay.
And thank God they did for us, because that's why I'm late. Just talking to JC Vaughn and
Yeah.
about how it's all worked out. And we sent our Winter Wonderland sketchbook to them last week or the week before, and it came back yesterday. Excuse me, I just ran upstairs 3 flights. And I'm just
What car do you-
exasperated today. So but we sent them, Debbie accidentally sent them the Plattsburgh, and they got returned to us because they filed bankruptcy yesterday. If that
Right.
book went to where it's supposed to go, I think to I don't know, I forget where it's supposed to go, then they would have got those books. But anything before the bankruptcy, they don't have to pay you. Now they've got financing. So now Diamond's gotten financing. It's called debt financing or something like that. So now they have through the bank, they have the money to move forward, but they don't necessarily have to pay you for everything they owed you before they declared bankruptcy. So that and these books too. I'm sorry to take over the show.
No, and there's
Well, we're
priority
used
You
too,
to
got
right?
inside info, Billy. That's
Yeah,
good.
really. We want
So,
the
this,
info.
so we did this book too, right? So this
Yeah.
is our Senryaku Omnibus.
Right.
It's a collector's box edition. And the thing is that Debbie couldn't, when Debbie was packing them, she felt the weight of these books because they're so heavy, started to bend the packaging, like the
Wow.
box. So imagine you ship these box sets and the retailers get them and like, oh, it's bent. There's a crease in it. There's a
Sure.
a dent in it. They're gonna want to return it. So we talked to them last week, like, listen, we got to maybe get a new box. We got to figure out what to do, even though we fucking bought 500 of these or whatever.
Mhm.
They're like, it's no problem. You're still early. It's not due till, I don't know, next month or something, whatever. This month. It's supposed to come out this month. Thank God we didn't ship them out because we wouldn't have got paid for all these.
Right.
Oh,
All these books and that. Well, we don't know if we wouldn't have, but legally they didn't have to pay us.
Right.
And how long do they figure they're going to be in the bankrupt in Chapter 11 before they emerge? Do you know?
I don't know. So they've got I think Alliance. They have Alliance is buying, or they're partnering with Alliance for the UK, because they still do all of DC's books UK, and I think some of Marvel's books actually too. In Europe. So and I think Images too they do. So it's just it's fuck,
but they don't have anything in the US anymore, do they? I mean, everybody's doing their own distribution, right?
Well, no, they do.
They do Boom and IDW and all that.
Pulled out. Didn't you read that article? The Boom just cut their ties with them.
Oh, no,
you have the other one, but then no, they don't do Image, but Images do through another distributor, and I forget who it was. I'm like, now I'm just spent. You know what I mean? Just all day.
Sure.
Oh yeah. Sure.
But
I just read a CBR article this morning that said that like Boom just cut ties with them. Dark Horse is no longer being distributed by them, and I don't know who's distributing Dark Horse, but there's, and of course Marvel, DC. It's like whose books are they distributing?
Yeah, I guess a lot of smaller distributors.
Just a lot of
Billy Tucci. That's your private distributor.
Yeah, I'm like their main guy.
It's a one-page catalog, and it's just sheet. Here it is. It's a flyer.
Yeah. So the thing is that they don't owe us a lot of money, thank God, because we've gotten paid from them. You know, we took off. I think December, because we made November was like the Christmas month, so we had everything for November, and I'm like, I don't know. And just being behind and launching, the Gatecrasher book, we're like, let's take December shipping off. Like, we did, because if like I said, if I would have shipped those books out or those other ones, they would have owed us thousands and thousands of dollars. That's what Capital City went out of business, owed me.
I remember Capital.
They owed me like $50,000, I think, or more.
Oh man,
it might have been more than $50,000 when they closed. Friendly Franks owed me like $25,000. They were.
What was the other one? Was it Heroes World?
Yeah,
Heroes.
And that's how the shit all started, because Heroes World,
Marvel bought them.
Some genius over at Marvel said, you know what? We should buy this small little regional distributor, and they can distribute all our comics.
Right.
Yeah.
And they started the whole thing, and then Jeppy went in. Steve's like, well, shit. We lost Marvel. Then he made the offer to Marvel, DC, Dark Horse. But then that's what screwed us over, because me, Chaos Comics, cartoon books, Jeff Smith's thing. Chaos Comics, Brian Polito, me, Crusade, we were all, in obviously C. So before Marvel left and all this distribution war started, previews, we were on page like 25 in the book. Back in the day, guys, everybody previews catalog, a big giant previews catalog. You flip through it, was a big book, and you could pick what you want. The retailers or the fans would pick what they want. But once they made their exclusives, we got pushed to the back, and I still became exclusive with them, but now it was the best of the rest, they called it. So now she is on page like 300. This is a big book. So
dude,
250 or something, as opposed to being on page like 50, 20, you know what I mean?
Right.
And it just killed us all. It was terrible. So,
well, one of the bigger and brighter and funner things.
Yeah, and that's why I picked the art of stuff that I had to sell, because I had to make a living. I had bills to pay, I had a family to raise, so I had to sell stuff. So that's why I picked a bunch of other art I owed that I was selling. But now I found a few pieces of my crappy art.
Well, wait, now Billy, it's not art you still have; it's art that you sold that you wish you had back.
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
Yeah,
okay.
I thought it was just art in general, because I value everyone else's art way more than mine.
Yeah, but there's still got to be pieces you sold that are sentimental. You're like,
I got stories.
It depends on.
All right. Well, let's start with Aaron Lopresti. But before that, guys, believe it or not, I got a sponsor for the show. It's going to be an overlay. So unfortunately, it looks like Aaron, probably a little bit of Billy and Graham will be blocked out. Dan and I will still be able to see. It's depends. Adult diapers, not just for old geezers, but great for higher productivity among your workers. Depends adult diapers. Stay at your desk longer, meet your deadlines, and crap your pants, and not even worry about the bathroom trips. So there you go, guys.
Oh, nice.
Yeah.
That's good.
I like
That's
that a
good one.
lot.
Yeah. It's a sponsor. I've been trying to get Taco Bell, but it hasn't worked out.
Yeah, I hear you.
Mm.
We actually have to use the product.
Yeah.
So-
Well, no, I do, sadly.
Oh, I've got
How
Depends on
edible
right now.
Depends.
So
And
Okay.
Depends.
I was talking
edible.
about Taco Bell. I don't use Depends. I eat at Taco Bell. Is what I was saying.
Yeah, that's
Do you
gross.
eat at Taco Bell?
Occasionally, yeah.
Interesting. Interesting.
I love Taco Bell. Have we not done a show on our favorite fast food restaurants?
I'm not sure.
I don't know if Graham. I think that's a show we'd probably have to do when Graham's not around because he's like, I don't eat that shit.
Yeah.
Whenever I said this, I wanted to do a cereal show. Graham's like, I don't eat that shit.
Hey, let's do it on Halloween candy. I don't eat that crap. You know, we're like,
Right.
The only show we could do with Graham is, what's your favorite cut of steak? And it would be
Yeah.
one round and we'd be done. The
Yeah.
show would be over in 10 minutes. So, favorite food, steak. Okay, moving on. Okay, Aaron. So, anyhow, go first. Kick off the show. What do you got? What do you
Well-
wish you never got rid of?
back in the 90s, seems to be where a lot of my work is going to be coming from, because apparently, kind of like Billy, I was not all that enamored with my stuff, and it was any way I could make a buck, I would do it, and that was usually involved selling my stuff. But every once in a while, you knock one out of the park, and I found a little kind of haven as I was really trying to get into Marvel full time, and I think this is right after, it's right after Ultraverse went under, and I was like, I couldn't really get in at Marvel, I couldn't really get in at DC, so I hooked up with Topps because Renee Witterstatter was there, who I'd worked with at Marvel, and Jim Salicrup was there, who I knew. And okay, there you go. You can share that. So I wrote and drew a few issues of Zena.
Holy crap, I never knew that.
I never knew that either.
This was one of the covers I did, and I actually did the story inside, and I sold the cover, and to this day I wish I had it back.
That's a nice cover,
And-
Aaron.
Thank you.
Yeah, and you inked it too, I take it, right? The cover.
Yeah. So this was, I don't know, 95, 96, maybe. I think I was in Studiosaurus, so probably 96.
Interesting.
And it was one of the better covers I had done
Beautiful.
up to that point. Probably
nice.
the best cover I'd done. It's still one of my favorites. And, I think I sold it for like $150 or whatever I might have sold it for back
Sounds
then,
about
and
right.
it's just like, gosh, I'd love to have that one
I
back.
gotta say, I actually like the color job because they pushed the background back nicely.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And this is obviously way after your Wrightson's phase, right?
Well, I don't know that I've ever left my rights.
No, it's you can see the inspiration.
Oh, I see what you're saying. You're trying to be funny. I get it. Okay. See this? See this right here? You see that
What?
little circular signature where my I'm circling it with my mouse?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yes.
Okay, this was during my Golden phase, and Golden, if you remember, he would sign with that G in a circle,
Yep.
Yes.
right? So I kind of ripped that off from him. His was much cooler, and so I started trying to do like dual lighting effects, like you've got here on this guy's armor,
Sure.
and do more complex lighting stuff, just because of my experiences with Golden, and yeah, this ended up being one of the more detailed pieces I did. And in all honesty, I have to admit that I was having trouble getting the face to kind of look more like Lucy Lawless, because back then they had we had the rights to do so it looked like her. And so I had Matt Haley come in on the pencils and help me get that face going. So there's a pencil assist on her face from Matt Haley, but I did ink the entire thing. So
Nice.
And it looks like what the inside was inked by Hillary Barta and Jordy Ensign. Is that what
and
that
me,
says?
yeah,
And, okay. Wow.
one of those
Nice.
jobs.
And it's a 0 issue, so look at that.
Yeah, heck yeah.
Very.
It's a great
think
cover.
there was multiple covers, and the other one was like a J. Scott Campbell cover that totally destroyed mine in terms of sales, but hey.
That metallic logo cracks me up. It just screams like 80s.
Yeah, early
Yeah.
disco, early 80s, you know.
Yeah. Well, that's cool. I learned something new. I never knew you did anything for Topps. So
I did this, a 0 issue, and then I did a mini series. It was a 2-issue mini series called Zena Bloodlines, and it brought back in Cleopatra because she was like a friend of Zena's on the television show, and so I brought Cleopatra back in and did this mummy story basically, and the first cover was a kind of a tribute to James Bama Doc Savage cover, which I also really, really liked, but I had to sell that to have money to buy Christmas presents the one year that I did it. So it was lean times.
Do you
But that's
have a
another
copy
one I
of that
kind of-
one? I'd like to see that. I'd like to see the Doc Savage style one.
All right, I'll dig it up.
Okay.
yeah, look it up
I will.
while we go to
There
Dan.
you go. There's round one for me.
We're going
That's
to me
good.
right
That's
now.
Yep.
That's very nice.
Oh, thank you.
All right.
I'm waiting to see Aaron on the next round. Something from Tachyon. Is that going to be there?
I couldn't give those away. I think I still got them all.
That's funny.
Did you ever get a script autographed?
Oh,
I'm sorry. Too soon?
Too soon. 30 years later, too soon.
Oh.
All right. I found it. I wanted to do it in order. So I don't know. So like regrets is strong word. Like art, we wish we still had that we did is one thing, you know, and I like Billy too. Did not have much of a reverence for my work when I was younger. I just sold almost everything, gave a lot away. And this was one of the pieces I gave away. I don't regret giving it away, though I do wish that you know, it could get back. We could get it back, but it won't happen. You want to bring it up?
Yep.
Here it is. So
Nice.
this is a double page spread out of Black Flag #4, and Andre Kromov, very good friend of mine, colored it. And like I said, I gave away my artwork all the time, and to say, hey, thanks for such a good job, I just gave him the double pager, like, hey man, thanks, you did a great job, take this. And he was like, yeah, cool, whatever. He put it in a storage unit. That storage unit went dormant, and that storage unit was auctioned off, and that piece of artwork is gone to the vapors. So I don't know if, you know, whoever bought it or whatever, the storage unit, maybe they went, oh, there's a pile of shit or whatever, and maybe one day this thing will like emerge, or this could literally be burnt or at the bottom of a junk pile.
Good
so
Lord.
But anyway, this is the one of them, and you know, I love this. This is one of those moments, you know. This is obviously I've kind of redrawn this moment many times.
I'm guessing that you didn't ink this too, right? Somebody else ink it. You did?
Did.
Oh, see,
I inked all of Black Flag myself.
Oh, see, that would be difficult for me, knowing the story behind it. If I was you with this,
yeah,
I would almost set the time aside to pick at it and basically recreate it, because then it's not the one that was printed, but
it exists.
But it exists.
Yeah. I don't know, man. I don't draw like this anymore. So,
well, I mean, you're not drawing it though. You're basically, you know, I know you got the skills to clean that up, print it out in blue line and ink it. That's all you're doing, you know.
Yeah. So that's mine. That's mine for you.
Wow, man, that is. God, the storage unit goes belly up and gets auctioned off. That is terrible.
Yeah,
terrible.
Yeah, bummer, man. And it was a double pager, you know, big old double page. I got to go handle something. I'll be right back.
All right,
you do it, and we'll go to Grant.
Wait a minute, what now?
Okay,
I didn't hear yelling in the background, so I don't know what it is.
This piece didn't get sent to the inker, and it also didn't get sold by me, because this piece was stolen from
Thievery.
DC.
What?
Yeah.
Really?
Yeah, from the original art room. It was the first time I got to work with the legendary Dick Giordano, and it's a double-page spread of Batman kicking punching the shit out of some dude.
Was Gil Kane
Oh.
in the office at the time? Do you know?
Yeah, right.
So you can go ahead and share it.
Okay. Oh, no
Oh.
way. So you know for a fact that there's no way Dick accidentally got it?
Yeah, because DC paid me for it.
Oh, really?
Yeah, I told them that I was supposed to get that, and so they checked because I got the page in front of it. I was supposed to get the first 2/3 of the book, and then
Yeah.
he'd get the second 2/3.
Hmm.
And so I got the first 2/3 of that book, and it wasn't in there. And when I told them that, I'm sure they contacted Dick to see if he had it, and he didn't. So they had to pay me like a reprint fee or I forget what they call it when they lose some of the artwork. So I got
Oh,
paid.
so you don't remember what it was? Because I was actually going to ask you if you remember. Was it just like page rate or something? Or you don't even know.
It might have been. It might have been page rate. It might have been more, actually. It might have been a little bit more. But yeah, it sucks because I've always wanted this piece.
Ugh. Floating around,
Wow.
man. Somebody's got it.
Yeah,
Yeah, dude,
somebody's
that-
got it. So if anybody sees it at a show and everything, let them know it's stolen.
Damn.
Yeah.
That sucks.
Yeah. It's a great page. I mean, you
How
got-
did it? So it got stolen from the offices?
Yeah.
Holy shit!
No, I had a 5-page Lord Pumpkin origin story that was stolen from wherever. I have Xeroxes of it, but man, that pisses me off too.
Yeah.
Did you ink it yourself?
Yeah.
Oh,
It's
that was
about as
Malibu,
right-sky
right?
as you can get. Yeah.
That was Malibu, right?
Yeah. But it was right when
Oh.
Marvel had bought them, so I think that the pages ended up in Marvel's, return area, and I never got them back.
Yeah. This
I
page would be worth a lot because it's right
Yeah,
in
it
the
would.
heart of Nightfall.
Yeah.
Ooh,
And then it's
Well,
me and Dick together, two Batman guys, and
and a huge shot of Batman. So,
and a huge shot
Yeah.
of Batman and Robin.
yeah.
yeah, and Robin.
Now, technically, it's not Batman; it's Jean-Paul Valet in the story.
Don't
Yeah,
ruin it. Don't
nobody
ruin
knows
it,
that.
Graham.
Yeah.
Hey, Graham, did you ink this too, or no? Dick inked it, right?
Yeah, Dick.
Dick
Dick
inked it.
Now, how is that compared to your pencils? Like the inks?
It's pretty accurate.
Yeah.
You can see there's certain Dick Giordano-isms in here.
Mhm.
Like on these background figures. Some of the rendering here is. Oh wait, you don't see my cursor.
No, we can't see him now.
Yeah. But it's very accurate. Yeah, Dick was really good about following it. And he just kind of like, punches it up in places with his ink line, which is really cool.
If you drew that today, the editor would send it back and say, "Hey, you forgot to finish the guy's face that's getting punched."
I say, talk to Kirby.
They would not. Well, seriously, they probably wouldn't understand
Probably
the style of comics, language of
Right.
comics and stuff,
Right.
So
But I love that stuff when you hit them so hard, their face disappears, because
Yeah.
oh yeah, dude.
It's off.
Or they're-
It's just off panel.
yeah.
Or their stomach disappears. I mean, there were times when John Buscema would draw somebody like punching or kicking somebody in the gut, and if you actually drew through, the dude's leg or arm would be like out the guy's back.
right.
Yeah, it's like he just draw arms and legs and this big burst in the middle, right?
Yeah. I like when Kirby would have like Hulk or Thing punch somebody, like it's clobbering time moment, and you'd see pieces of the dude flying off, like
Yeah.
like little bits, coming
Yeah,
off,
yeah.
whether they're teeth or it's the Thing's rocks or something. I love that. It's so great.
Yep. Oh, I did read apparently in the new Fantastic Four movie, he will be saying it's clobbering time. So
Well,
Good.
that's makes me want
There
to go
you
see
go.
it now.
that's right. Okay, Billy Tucci, is there setup before I share this?
This is from Sergeant Rock Lost Battalion. I really love doing that book. And it was the D-Day scene that I did. So I actually
Oh, wow.
yeah, I visited Normandy. I went to Easy Red Beach. And I made it large so I could just can you see my cursor? Yeah. So this is I wanted to get down at the battle, like right in there. And all like these aircraft right here, the actual planes, that's the actual unit that was part of it. This is exactly what they'd all be wearing. Again, it's getting punched in the face and your face disappears, granted, than someone getting shot in the face and having his face disappear.
Well, in that case, that's what really happened.
I was going to say that's accurate. Your face just gets blown off.
Yeah,
not hyperbole.
But I all the work I did into this page and stuff, I really enjoyed it. Had a blast drawing it. And again, just a lot of detail. Even like the arm brassards, these are gas brassards. So if they got gas, if it would turn like a bright yellow or an orange, if they were under gas attack, and that's how they would know that there was the Nazis were using gas. But yeah, I visited the beach and studied it, and I did a fun rough, and I had my friends come over, and I took Polaroids of them and stuff like that on my lawn, doing the whole thing. And,
Dude, you can hear this piece.
But what happened to it?
You know?
Yeah.
I know what happened to it.
A friend of mine who I met because of this book, he made me an offer I couldn't refuse.
So do you still have a bunch of the originals from it, and this is one you just don't?
I still have some. I have a couple of them, but this one is gone. And he made us an offer at San Diego Comic-Con, and Debbie's like, okay, yeah, sure.
Yeah,
he's like,
but honey, nope, we're selling it.
Yeah, I think it was like a crazy price. And he's a big World War II historian. This guy's a great guy, great friend. And she said, I don't know, he spent like a week on this page, maybe like $4,000, something like that. And he's like, okay, take my credit card.
But at least you know where it is.
Oh yeah, of course, yeah. And he is since whenever. So if you guys know me, when I go to battle sites, battlefields and stuff, I collect soil. So I have tons of soil, like maybe 30, maybe 40 jars of soil from battlefields all over the world. And about 20 of them, half of them at least, maybe more, maybe 30 of them of the 40 I have are all from him, because he travels. He's been to Iwo Jima, and he's been to like everywhere, and he's sent me jars of soil.
Billy, you know what would be awesome, Billy, is if you did a piece for each of those battles, and you just got a little bit of the soil and mixed it with water and did all your wash with the soil from that battle. You know what I'm saying? So each of those pieces actually has the battle in it.
Right.
That'd be cool. Yeah. Spartans at Thermopylae, and I even got like Masada and my buddy Keith.
Really?
Who sadly passed away from cancer 4 years ago. He just sends it to me. He just says Jewish dirt. He's Jewish guy. But here's a story about Keith, is that he died, I think, 4 years ago. They have a house in Pacific Palisades.
Oh no.
And his wife sold it this summer for $3.4 million.
Oh wow.
Well, that's God bless. God bless.
It's on Beirut Avenue. It's gone.
Oh
yeah.
And she wanted to, well, this is it. I remember we were talking to her, and we become really like he was like my best friend, and they're like family. And the wife's like, my son just got married. I got this big beautiful house. My memories are all of him. They sold it, and the fucking house is gone. They're in La Jolla now. She moved out of La Jolla where her parents are.
Well, she got out of Dodge just in time.
Got out of Dodge, right?
Yeah, no doubt.
Thank
God.
That's awesome.
Oh, did you hear Mark Hamill's house burned down?
Did it?
No way. Did it really?
Oh,
I guess the force wasn't with him.
Oh.
Guess not.
Did you see that picture that Robert Redford posted of his Oscar? He posted a picture of
that's whose Oscar that was.
Yeah, just laying in the ashes.
Yeah, I didn't know that was his.
Well, the base is messed up.
Yeah,
and then the Oscar itself doesn't look that bad, but the base of it's kind of messed up.
Yeah, that was one anyway. They'll give him a replacement one.
Oh yeah, but that was Redford.
That was I'd seen that photo, and was like, at first, because there was no credit, I was like, dude, if that's AI, that's crazy. Number one. Number two, it's a poignant photo as far as the
Right.
situation. Hollywood's burning, right? Like,
Mhm.
Yeah.
but to find out that it's real and it's Robert Redford and he said, there's that moment, that's kind of cool.
Yeah, it couldn't happen to a nicer group of people.
Yep.
Well, so I was listening to Joe Rogan last week when he had Mel Gibson on, which if you haven't heard it, it's a really good interview.
Yeah.
But talk about being chill. Mel's talking to Joe and he's like, "Yeah, I guess I'll go home and see if I still have a house." And then I
Yeah.
saw over the weekend he does not. So
He doesn't, huh?
Yeah.
nope.
Where was his? I
Well,
guess
you know what you have to realize is that they don't have that house, but they
Right.
have.
Oh no, Mel said
Right.
he goes, "I've got a place in Costa Rica that's really nice and blah blah blah,
Right.
whatever." But then you've got guys though, like, and I could, he didn't come right out and say, but you hear about James Woods, and I mean with James Woods, it does seem like that was maybe his only place. I mean,
Right.
maybe not, because I mean,
His survived though.
I know his did survive, yeah.
Really?
Which is great because there's that one troll online that was like, "Ha ha,
Yeah.
James Wood, karma's a bitch."
Yeah, she's
Karma?
a women's study professor or something down in Missouri or some kind of bullshit.
Oh,
the
jeez.
PhD.
Okay, here we go. Okay.
Yeah. Well, karma because he's a right winger. Dan,
Yeah.
come on.
Oh, is he?
Yeah.
I didn't know
Oh, yeah,
that.
and they're going after him. Well, what do
Oh.
you think about your policy or your stance on global warming now?
Yeah, it's not
Oh,
global
God.
warming. Fucking
Yeah.
bums lighting the fire.
If you
Oh, my
mean
God.
bums starting fires, then yes.
Yeah, exactly.
I know it's
Yeah,
ridiculous.
Dan, he's worth a follow on X if you don't follow
Oh,
him.
cool. Well, I have a funny story about James Wood that's it's connected to James Woods and Christopher Walken. I was working on a movie one time, and I was talking with the set photographer. And a lot of these times, there's somebody that's hired on productions to take
Yeah.
continuity photos and like basically take set photos. And he was telling me about his friend that also did this, that like basically quit the business, and it was because there was one time where he was shooting film, and Christopher Walken was like, I can't that guy needs to leave. I don't like his energy, right? And the guy's like, I didn't do anything. Like, I'm like, what? Right? So then you fast forward to another thing. The guy's like, fuck, okay. And he's working on another movie that has James Wood. And James Wood says the same fucking thing. Okay. But not only that, the guy goes outside and is like, what the fuck? And goes to have a cigarette. He sees a shadow. He looks up. It's James Woods. And he goes, no, I need you to leave. Like, you're fucking my energy up.
James Wood said that to him.
To him. Yeah. And it was weird that both Christopher Walken and James Wood
Wow.
had the same problem with the same guy in different instances. You know what I'm saying? And then you think about James Wood and Christopher Walken as actors, and you go, I wonder if those guys are just like fucking tuned into something, and that guy is, his frequency was buzzkill or something. I don't know. But
Right.
but anyway,
Right.
that was there you go. That's
Well,
it.
you've heard Mel Gibson talk about those fucking devil people, right? Like demons and shit that he's seen in Hollywood. He's like, it's crazy. He's like, no, they're real.
I believe it.
Like I think he talked like one guy blinked and his eyes like blinked like that or something fucking nuts.
Right.
Like, I don't know
Yeah.
the lizard people, but just
Yeah, there's some lizardy shit out there.
They're just demons. They are. They're just fucking.
I love
Wow.
Mel, but he's a little nutty.
He is
Yeah,
crazy.
he can get out there.
His antics, a lot of people they think Rob Liefeld is a cokehead because you ever watch him and he's talking and he's so animated and he you know. But I know Rob is the only thing he's addicted to is caffeine. I watched a couple of the clips of Mel Gibson, and you would think the guy was on some fucking shit, but apparently that's just him.
Mhm.
You know, like he has like sometimes he does crazy eyes.
Yeah,
you know when it, yeah,
Oh, yeah,
that
yeah.
stuff, that yeah, you're like, what? You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
You know, and you're like,
Yeah.
Oh, you're saying it's ivermectin.
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
right, yeah, that it is. So
Brad,
you know,
I'm sorry, Chuck. Did Chuck ever tell you the story when this is after Mel Gibson got in all the trouble, and Chuck was talking to like his manager that Mel Gibson wanted to work on something that Chuck was doing, or hired Chuck to write something, and I think Chuck, has all these like pewter soldiers and all this stuff, and they were just talking, and Chuck goes, "Yeah, boy, I'd like to party with him," and the guy's like, "What? Have you just seen it?" He's like, "Oh no, I didn't mean like that. I just mean like to hang out with him, like." This is what he remembers in the cab, and he's like saying, "Are you a Jew?" to the guy, and saying how the Jews, are destroying the world and all this crazy when he's drunk and shit. And
Yeah, he was drinking back in the day.
yeah, and Chuck's like,
was-
man,
Oh, my God.
Chuck's like, man, I'd like to party with him, but he's like, no, not that way.
Oh, apparently Mel will be directing the 5th Lethal Weapon because Donner asked him before he died.
I heard
Brad.
that. Mel Gibson
Well-
is a heck of a director, man. I got to
he
give him
really
credit.
is.
He's really good.
He's got that new movie coming out that he directed with Mark Wahlberg,
Yeah, Flight Risk.
Flight Risk.
Oh,
That
he's
looks
directing
good.
that?
Yeah.
That does look good.
He said, they talked about it. I mean, Joe Rogan said it was fun and whatever. I mean, Joe's pretty straight up. I would assume if he didn't like it, he wouldn't have even brought it up. But I mean, Mel was like, yeah, I just want to make a fun movie, turn your brain off for like 85, 90 minutes,
Right. Pure
go in
entertainment.
there. Yeah. And it does look kind of good. But supposedly the next thing he's doing that he's working on is, the resurrection, the follow, the
Well, he's been working on that for 5 years, he said.
dude, he said Joe asked him when he's looking to start shooting, and he said probably not till next year. So
And is he getting Caviezel to come back?
he is, and a lot of it's because of the fact that they can do de-aging so well now if they have to.
Right. I'm not even thinking 2025 right now.
Yeah, come on, Dan.
Yeah.
I was thinking
Yeah,
about
baby.
I was thinking about the resurrection, man. That's all.
Mm.
Yeah, no, he wants him back. So anyhow, so the first one I thought of, I was working on Exo Man of War back in the day for Valiant. I wasn't inking my own covers, Ray Christing was, so we did the every third cover thing, and I didn't do many. I think I only drew like maybe 10 or 11 covers, so I still got most of them. But for Exo 50, which is this one, we did. This is when Bart and I were alternating every 2 issues. So for issue 50, so it wasn't just him drawing 50 or me drawing 50. We did 50X and 50O. So I drew the cover to X, and then right next to it, his cover had the other half of this bad guy in the foreground, and then had a big figure of Exo in the new armor that debuted in that book. Anyhow, I think it was the guy that probably bought Bart's cover, and he was just really working me, if I remember right. And I didn't want to sell it because I'm like, oh, it's probably one of the coolest ones. And it was kind of the thing, he just probably made an offer that back then, because this is 30 years ago now.
That's a
Yeah.
beautiful
I
cover.
was like, okay. But
Hey,
about this.
Bart. Sorry, Andy. Bart's going to be in Albuquerque.
What?
I know. I talked to him today. He leaves at 6 a.m. on Thursday.
Thursday?
I leave my house at 3 a.m. on Friday morning.
Yeah, same thing with us. We have a 5:55 a.m. flight on Friday morning.
Yeah, mine's at 7 something. So we'll be getting in roughly around the same time probably. But
Yeah, he knows
sorry,
you
I
guys are
digress.
there.
That's
No, he
great.
knows you
I
guys are there. I
can't wait to see him. Can't wait to see him. Haven't seen
But
him.
yeah,
since
so
Heroes.
this is one that I probably think of a few times a year when it's just, if I'm looking through Exo stuff, whatever, and I'm just like, damn it, I should never have sold it. Should never have sold it. But I've never seen it for sale, so I guess that's a good thing.
It's a nice cover,
So-
man.
Did you ink that
Friday
cover,
stuff.
Andy, or did Bart?
No, Ray did. Ray Christing
Ray
did.
did. Okay.
Yeah.
Did Ray ink
So-
Bart's cover too?
Yep.
Okay.
and they made a poster out of it and stuff.
Who colored
Yeah,
it?
I mean, it's like I told Dan about, oh, you inked your 2-page spread, just re-ink it. I didn't ink this. So while I could probably find copies, because I have a freaking tub back there in the closet of all the photocopies, because before scanning, you know, I'd photocopy everything.
Sure. Yeah.
So I know I have photocopies of the pencils, but I didn't ink it in the first place. So I just wouldn't want to ink it.
Yeah, but
it
maybe
still
you
wouldn't
could
be-
do it as a recreation. I bet you'd sell that sucker for a lot of money if you want to sell it. As a
Then he'd wish he had it back again, Billy. Don't you understand?
Yeah, if I took the time to if I took the time to recreate this,
don't you get it?
Don't
Yeah,
you get
so-
it, Billy?
I'm trying to be
So, yeah,
clever.
that's
Who colored it, Andy? Is that McNabb?
no, this is when Bart had the color, you know, so this was, we went over to Valiant after Ominous Press went down the first time in the 90s,
Mm-hmm.
and Bart had the color guys in house.
Oh,
So part of the deal was they would color the stuff. So it was a guy named Mike Borkowski who colored it, who's gone on to do storyboards and
It's a nice
had
color
has
job.
a career, you know, doing that. So
okay.
yeah. So there you go. That is
Cool.
the first one out of the gate for me from 30 years ago.
Crazy.
Nice job.
Yeah.
And yeah, I wasn't thinking. I guess that was the whole point, is to have it. I get it now.
No,
Oh, yeah,
but
you
like,
could ink it.
well,
Billy,
to give you,
that's what
so
happened when you show up late.
it's not really a tangent, but when I did the Red Sonja Claw miniseries, that was shot from my pencils, right?
Oh, was it?
And I had a splash page of Red Sonja where she was like chained to a wall, nice full figure of her, you know, kind of sexy as she's chained up. And I had it priced pretty high, and the guy bought it, you know, it's like 15, 20 years ago. And it was one of those things, I'm like, damn it. But it was only in pencil, and I had a good scan of it. So I just printed it out and traced it off. And on the back of it, I just wrote recreation, so I would never, you know, forget and think it was their original and stuff. So I do have one, but anyhow.
I did a Red Sonja cover where she was chained up in a dungeon too.
Oh,
Seems to be a theme.
That's how you say that word? Dungeon?
Dungeon.
How do you spell it?
Dungeon.
That's not dung. That's not the Dungian.
It is not.
Oh, it's a dungeon. Oh my god! Kick him.
did
Get
you
him outta here.
you smoke something when you turn your camera off? That's what it was.
Yeah, that's exactly what it is.
Where's that whiskey kicking in?
Yes.
Oh,
Wonderful. Wonderful.
you need more
Yeah.
ice. All right, should I share this now, or are you talking first?
Yeah, go on. No, this isn't this is the Doc
Oh.
Savage based.
Oh,
See,
okay.
I had her, you know, in the foreground, kind of looking over her shoulder as she was menaced from behind, which is very
Gotcha.
much a Doc Savage trope.
Oh my God. There's no way you like drawing her breastplate armor stuff.
No, it sucked, especially in every panel. I mean, the
Yeah.
cover was okay, but every panel, oh,
Yeah, that would be terrible. That's like,
Dude,
like
you got
having to
solo
draw
credit.
the
Look at that.
Predator.
There's no other credit on that cover. except for
dude,
you.
I wrote it, I penciled it, and I inked it.
Hey, not only that, dude, your name is on that cover twice.
Yeah.
Maybe even 3 times is your signature in there, because then
Right
that's
there,
a
yeah, right down
that's
the
a
bottom.
that's a thricer.
So then
Where's
here's the
the price?
question.
Oh,
What
I
was the
see it
pin up
right
inside?
there.
I think it's the same thing, just bigger.
Oh, okay.
So anyway, that's the Doc Savage one. And I did that. I sold that specifically to get. I kind of like this one too. I would have kept it, but I needed Christmas money, so I sold it for $350,
Chris,
and
wow.
that paid for Christmas that year. Okay, but here's the real one that I wish I had back. This is a tragic tale, really.
Uh-oh.
There you go. I did a book
All right.
called Lord
Oh.
Pumpkin Zero. Gary inked most of it, but he didn't ink all of it. And this is one of the you want to talk about rights and influence. This is I inked this page, and I was going to hang on to it forever, but during the hard times, the lean years,
Yes. Yeah.
I not only did I sell this, I sold like most of my Wrightson collection, my Wrightson originals, and those were all pre 1980, so like great Wrightson stuff. So yeah, I wish I had this one back, but this was my House of Mystery special splash page with the freaks in the circus, and I particularly like all the pile of dead clowns and the guys in the back here.
You know,
I mean, did you have fun with the dead clowns, like drawing famous clowns back there, or no?
No, but I just real happy with how all the faces turned out. You know,
Were you happy with the color?
Nah, it's okay.
Yeah.
I like the Elephant Boy. He's my favorite here, the Elephant Boy. But
My mother went
So
to school
Gary-
with the Elephant Boy.
right
Gary
there.
inked everything but that page. You were like, tough, Gary. I'm inking this.
Well, no, I don't know what happened, but he got pulled off of it, or he had to leave, or he got a better job, because this is the time Malibu was starting to look like it was going under, and people were bailing like rats off a sinking ship. I did not, though, because I loved everybody there so much, and I kept pretending that, oh, maybe they'll salvage it, and of course they didn't. So there ended up being about 10 pages in here that I had to ink. And it also could have been a deadline thing. I can't remember, but so I cherry picked a couple choice pages. It didn't send to Gary, and I said, I'm inking these myself.
This is beautiful, man. I love the
great
cast
page.
shadows, and you got
Yeah.
a
What year is
reflective
this?
light going on.
Thank you.
What year, Aaron?
Probably 94.
Man, if I knew you back then, Aaron, I would have chased you around. Give me your skills. Teach me your ways. You know what I'm saying?
Teach me the ways of Bernie Wrightson. How did you?
Yeah.
Now,
Man,
so-
I love the sleeves. His sleeves,
Yeah.
I love that stuff.
This is all brush, and Gary actually is the one who taught me to ink, although we don't really ink the same at all. But so this is actually I ink these. I used to be really clunky with my inking, and Gary really got me straightened out. And so I was actually pretty comfortable with my inking. I mean, it's very 70s style. Obviously, Wrightson ink.
Pause.
Yeah.
But what do you mean he straightened you out?
Meaning he kind of taught me how to do finer line stuff that I wanted
And
to
what
do.
what did he teach you there? Because that's something I'm running into. Like I've talked to Andy about this. When I ink, I'm not thinking other than I'm drawing with the ink. And a lot of times it comes out clunky, but it's my style. And I look at guys like T. Bear or Scott Williams, these guys with such incredible control. And I go, how the fuck do they do that? Because I don't know how they do that.
Well, dude, that's what it is control. I mean, I don't know. This is kind of breaking up a little bit, but you can see like on his sleeve, these little tiny feather lines. And Gary inks from thin to thick like Bolin does. So,
Yeah.
I mean,
That's how I do it too.
Okay. Well, you need a lighter touch. That's all it is.
Oh.
Is you have to be patient. You can't just go blip, blip, blip. You have to have a really light touch and be very
okay.
particular.
So wait,
what do you want to?
See, I go the other way. I go thick to thin usually.
Yeah.
Well, that's Wrightson.
you really?
Did. That's what Wrightson did.
I've seen a lot of people do that too.
I was just about to say, I've never heard of anyone except for, well, now I know two guys, Graham, you, and Randy Elliott goes thick to thin, but I always pull thin to thick as well.
No, that's
I've
what I
seen
said.
that.
I do thin to thick. Yeah.
Yeah,
that's what I do. Yeah.
I've watched Larry Stucker ink thick to thin.
But I
That's why
will say
they
this.
call them pullouts, not pull-ins.
Yeah, I do it both ways.
You know?
I mean, I will ink out like Wrightson, from thick to thin. But again, it's all about it's your touch, man. You
About
can't
control,
be heavy-handed.
Right.
Yeah.
So and it's
the
easy
brush
with
you
those.
use.
Dude, seriously, it's so easy with these pens, and I know the ones you're using because I'm using them now. You can get real loose and fun with them, but they can get a little clunky, and you kind of lose your soft touch because you're just in there working it. But that's what Gary taught me, man, was just this total patience and control, light touch on the brush, so that you're not just laying it out.
That's the same thing with John Beatty. When I shared a studio with John and watched him ink, it was very precise, very controlled, because he's a brush guy. You created Lord Pumpkin, didn't you?
Well, I don't get credit for it, but I like to think I did. What happened was we got this list of characters that Malibu wanted to use, so they could copyright them. Like this is like the very beginning of the Ultraverse. We got they faxed me. There was like this 3 pages of character names and stuff. We want to use as many as these can so we can get them trademarked and blah blah blah. One of them was Pumpkinhead, and I was like, oh dude, I don't even know what that is, but I want to do it. But then they had to change it because of the movie Pumpkinhead.
Yeah.
And so it became Lord Pumpkin because Dan Danko actually came up with this concept, and I just drew it, and then what I thought he should look like, and faxed it in to them and said, I want to use this guy in Sludge, and so we did. But I found out later that one of the other early artists had done like the first rendition of Lord Pumpkin, so he actually gets co-creator credit on it, which pisses me off because when they never use, I mean, how many ways can you do a pumpkin, right? But still, I had never seen his stuff. I didn't even know it existed, and the only version that's ever been used is mine. So it's kind of like I did create the character, or co-create the character, but I don't get credit for it. So that's
well, not only that, but the follow-up would have been, you can't use them then either, right?
Well, I mean, but we couldn't use any of these characters because Marvel owns them.
Well, I don't know. I mean, it's not like they're in business anymore, but
I can.
While we're still talking about Aaron, here's a saucy page Aaron did from that Zena because I looked it up. Oh yeah.
Oh, I kept this page.
Yeah.
Do you still have it?
Yep. And the
This
mummy.
is very, very Dave Stevens.
I did a full page shot of the mummy in a coffin, and it was based on Karloff's mummy, from the 31 movie.
Yeah.
And so I kept this page. There's a couple pages with this chick. I guess in Egypt they don't dress very much.
And it's hot in Egypt, my friend.
It's hot. And
hot in Africa.
How did you?
Cleopatra. Now I got pissed off because I did Cleopatra as a Greek because Cleopatra was a Greek. And they said, no, she's got to be this black chick. And I go, why would she be black? They go, because she's black in the TV show. And I'm like, Judas Priest.
Oh, hey,
she doesn't look black. She looks tanned.
Yeah,
that's what I was going to say. Speaking of the TV show, how much crap did you go through at the beginning getting likenesses, and how did you solve the problem of that process?
Dude, I did Lucy Lawless pretty good, so I never really got any complaints. It was like they would get on my case, or not Lucy wouldn't, but her husband, who was the producer.
No
I
way.
Saved that page too. I saved this page too. If I did like a butt shot or something of Zena, they'd like cover that up, or something like that.
That's my wife's ass.
Yeah, that's exactly what it is. And I kept this one too.
Oh, cool.
So, but I don't remember ever having a problem with her likeness where they were like going, because she had such a strong jawline.
Yeah.
If you just did a couple of things like that, it looked just
and
like
a very wide
like
face. She has a very wide face.
Yeah, and very strong jawline. And as long as the character had, similar attributes and was good looking and attractive drawing, they didn't care.
I guess that's
you never had a problem with like, hey, her boobs are too big or too small.
Her boobs were never too big. She had big boobs. Why would she care?
Right.
I don't know.
No, it's what they call in the biz a handsome woman.
Yeah, she's a
manish.
That's right.
That's a man, baby.
This is
Austin,
cool.
That's my mother.
All right. Well, Dan Frag is up now.
Anyway,
that's cool. That's a good looking book. I'm glad I
you.
pulled it up.
All right.
Considering where I was in my career, it turned out okay. So thank you.
So this one is a very similar story to the other one. This is the cover of Black Flag #2. Very much based on The Mucker by Rosetta.
I see that.
Watch it.
And again, I didn't really think much of my own work. Like I was like, hey, have something, So I gave this to the colorist, Andy Troy.
What a generous fool you were.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, I gave it away, and of course, it too is lost to the wind.
Oh,
well, are you serious? He doesn't have it?
You know where it is.
Dude, the moral of the story: quit giving your artwork to colorists.
Wait. Hold on,
Yeah.
hold on. So
For people that don't
you
appreciate
gave it to him. He didn't have a storage unit problem. He just doesn't know where it is.
Correct.
Wow,
Oh, that's worse.
Yeah.
that's
This was
insulting, is what that is.
ah.
Yeah.
Look at that butt shot, man. Lucy Lawless
Yeah.
didn't have none of that.
Yeah. Yeah.
While
So
I was brushing, I got my hair wet.
oh my
Aw.
youngster's talking to me. That's
can
my
hear.
turn, guys. I guess I don't want to. You know, not too much of a story behind this, other than I really dug the Frazetta piece. Wanted to do something like it. Wanted to have some fun with some design work.
I love the
And
mucker. That's one
yeah,
of my
but
favorite Frazetta paintings. I don't know why, but I love it.
yeah, I love it. And the cat lady, I guess is her name, the one with the big gnarly tree.
Yeah.
Oh,
Oh, that's a
I'm
great
gonna
one.
I'm gonna give my kid some love real quick. I'll be right back.
He's
All
and
right.
when he says love, he means he's getting out the wooden spoon to a little discipline. Don't come on, come here, I'm on camera.
I'm on camera. Yeah, he forgets to turn the mic off. You can hear it.
Daddy, no, don't beat me.
Don't hit me. Why do you beat me so much? Okay. Anyhow, it's Graham's turn. Hold on, Aaron. Tell me you kept this. I'm going through your second issue now. Did you keep that?
No, I sold that. That was a double page spread of a chick with no clothes on. Are you kidding me? That's sold
All
for
right.
money, baby.
Damn it. Okay.
Those are a dime a
Now
dozen,
it's
right,
Graham's turn.
Graham? You can always draw a chick laying in a, you know.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Absolutely. Well, it was the mummy that was,
Yeah.
So my next, I stopped selling my originals years ago, many years ago. But early on, back in the 80s and 90s, I was selling them, and those are the ones that really, particularly the covers, that I sold for like $250.
Yeah.
That I wish I had back,
Sure.
and just because some of them were number ones, like
Yeah.
this one right here.
All right. Let me grab it.
It's the cover.
Oh,
Oh, you did that? I remember that.
I really like the geometric design of this cover.
Yeah.
Holy shit,
Yeah.
that's awesome.
That is cool.
That's it, Graham. That's you,
Yeah.
man. This is 100%, a 1,000,000% a compliment. If someone had said you only have 2 seconds to guess who this is, and you look at it, look away, I would have said Walt Simonson.
Oh wow. I'll take that as a
Yeah.
compliment.
Yeah, yeah, that's
You don't
awesome.
have a black and white of that.
I don't.
Oh,
What
I
happened
remember
to it?
I sold it.
Okay.
I don't remember. I probably at that time I think my cover sales were like 250, maybe 350 a cover, something like
The
that.
lean years.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, I just didn't realize that if I held on to it, it might have value later, particularly because it's a number one.
Yeah.
Right.
yeah.
Right.
And
Hey,
that
that-
was the series that kind of like I really it's this first series that I ever started at number one. I got the pencil and ink it. My
Wow.
editor, Mike Gold, was a hands-off guy, so I got to experiment and really grow as an artist working on this book. By the 6th issue, I had really started to kick. The inking, the drawing, all that kind of stuff was starting to really come together by that point, by the 6th issue.
And when was this?
This was 19, is that 81? No, I mean 89.
89.
I don't know.
Was this the first series right after Truman's like a prestige format miniseries of Hawk World, and then he went right to this?
Oh, it's 1990. Yes.
Truman wrote this.
Yeah. So Truman did the series. He wrote the Prestige series,
Mhm.
and then he drew it, and Kiki Alcatina inked it, and then it did
Right.
really well. So they wanted to do it as a regular series, and Truman recommended me for it.
Oh, nice.
And because I was going to bring a more superhero feel to it, which I did, but I used like his designs and stuff as the blueprint for it. And and then Tim and John Ostrander were the co-writers on it. So they just continued on from where they left off in the miniseries and started.
Oh, that's cool.
Yeah, that's a cool piece, man.
Thank you so much. Yeah.
That's
The
it.
logo, this is a really saturated image. The cover came out awesome, you know, and it had this gold printed logo on there, you know, made it something special. It looked really, really cool.
I think I bought this. I remember getting this. I certainly remember when it came out. I wonder if I still have it.
Do any of you guys ever go to Comic Art Fans and just pop your name in to see what's up there?
Yep.
Yes.
Yep. Mm-hmm.
Yep.
Yeah. So have you seen this one again or no?
I've never seen the original. No.
Yeah.
See, I've seen that Zena cover I wanted to get, but the guy wouldn't sell it.
Are you serious? See, like the few pieces that XO I haven't seen. The other two I'm going to show I haven't seen, and then the one piece, a cover I did on the first that cross-gen that got ripped off because Rob Hunter inked it. He never got it back. I never got it back. It was towards the end of cross-gen, so
the colors are much nicer on the actual.
Oh yeah, way better.
Oh yeah, oh wow,
that looks nice.
Yeah, you see that
oh yeah, you can actually see it.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, that's nice. It'd be nicer if it was in near mint condition, but you obviously read it a lot. So.
Nope, this one is in near mint.
That looks pretty good, actually.
In fact, I'd give this a 9.8.
Okay, well, you better put it in a bag and a board.
And you know what?
That's what I was waiting for.
One a 9.8, Aaron.
Yes. And
I was waiting for Aaron to say it'd be nicer in a bag and board.
And not only that, but it has provenance. And there will be a day and age when they're going to grade personal items of people, and that could be a 8.4. See, but it's got his
grease.
It's got DNA on here.
It's got his oils and greases, and it comes from Graham Nolan's personal copy. And here's DNA proof. That's fucking
God!
genius.
You know that old printing back then? You probably just rubbed ink off of it on your head.
Do you guys ever watch SpongeBob?
Yes.
Yeah.
Well,
okay. You know the episode where they steal the balloon on Free Balloon Day and they're out in the wilderness and they're camping and they both have chocolate bars and Patrick eats his and then he's like, "Oh, SpongeBob, you stole my candy bar." He goes, "No, I didn't, Patrick. You already ate yours." He's got chocolate all over his mouth. But then SpongeBob starts taunting him because he goes, "You give me that candy bar." And he's like going, "Nah." That's what Graham is doing to me right now with that comic book.
Yes.
This is
That's
my
amazing.
No, you're a maniac.
Excellent.
That's funny.
I got a box of these.
I know
the fact that you still have a box of those after that long.
That's pretty cool.
Dude, I got so many copies.
Yeah, they used to give us like 25 copies of every.
No, I know. I still got a lot of stuff.
I didn't get comps. DC Marvel wasn't as plentiful with the comps as DC.
Oh, Marvel sucked, dude.
Yeah.
Even like when I was doing Quasar in the early 90s, one month I'd get a yellow envelope with like 3 copies. The next month I'd get a yellow envelope with like maybe 5 or 6.
Yeah.
But DC the week before it came out,
the editor had to do that. They had to, you know, taking time out of his day to take care of that. Whereas these things came in a box right from Quebecor. We got it as soon as they were
the week before.
Right.
Yeah, actually, we got them before the comics.
Yeah.
Yeah, it was the week before. A box showed up, and there was always 25.
Yep.
Yeah. Well, I mean that kind of sucked when you're on a regular series and you get like 25 of every issue, and just before you know it, you had to stack this high. And you're like, what am I going to do with all these?
I'm kind of interested in this right now. How many of us have worked for Marvel? All of us.
Yeah.
And all of us have done work for DC.
Mm-hmm. Yes.
Have all of us done something at Image?
Yes,
I have.
No. Okay. Yeah, you had a crossover. Yeah, I was just thinking, like when you said that the comps, I'm like, I've done before He-Man. I've done 3 jobs for DC, only one of which saw print. You know what I'm saying? So I did a Superman story that they lost. They did 13 years. They
What
lost
is
the
with
original.
you and your artwork getting lost?
No, dude, it fell behind a cabinet, the entire thing. And they didn't find, I did the job in 2003. I got the art return in 2016. They did not find it for 13 years, regardless.
Wow.
And then the other thing that I did that may have seen print, but I've never seen it, was something called the Big Book of.
Oh,
And
yeah.
this one,
Yeah.
So I did a Big Book of Wild Women, and I did the story on
Nice.
Nzinga of Africa, and like it was real. Like I went off. I was trying to do my best Hal Foster sort of thing, because those big books had a real like a vibe to them.
Yeah.
But I've never seen the Big Book of Wild Women. If it ever came out, if it has, I'd like a copy, but I don't think it ever has.
It did come out.
Anyway, long story short, I haven't had enough work at DC to ever go, oh, comps. You know what I mean?
Mm.
Like, and Marvel was never good. They're better now. I get comps now, and I'm like, why am I getting this?
Yeah, I
You know
mean,
what I'm
well,
saying?
it is funny. They are a little better now. I mean, the comps I get probably like you are like, trade paperback reprints that has an issue or two in it.
Yeah.
That's what it is.
And they come FedEx.
Yes.
Yeah.
I'm like,
yeah.
what? And
They
I mean,
come-
it's
they
like
come
2
from-
or 3 day FedEx.
And they come
Huh?
from they come from Meltdown Comics in New
Midtown.
York. Midtown.
Yeah.
Not Meltdown.
Midtown.
Midtown. Yeah.
Meltdown Comics.
Meltdown
That
Comics.
was a
pretty
Freudian slip.
apropos.
Yeah. Yeah, no,
but-
Midtown sends them out. Yeah.
Well, I've done covers on and off for Archie over the years, and I did a Jughead cover that they never used. Like, I don't know, it's pre-COVID, right? And they finally reached out to me and said, "Hey, we're finally using that Jughead cover you did." And they asked me how many comp copies I wanted, and I was like, "Give me 5, and we'll call it good." So I was like, that would have been nice to, 5,
You know what,
that's
man?
nice.
Here's what's up on that one. Never say just 5. I know there's the humility of like whatever, but what if you found out that Jughead cover was a special cover, and next thing you know, it's like $100 cover, and you could have said 50.
Dude.
So, always say 50 if you can get comps.
Here's the thing. I did this book for a Wonder Woman story, right?
Yeah.
And they reprinted it in that Burbank edition of Wonder Woman that they like handed out as a freebie when they did the Wonder Woman statue there a couple of years ago.
Yeah.
That book, $1,000 a piece. I've got a box full of them.
Holy shit.
You should be getting some of those slabbed and graded, my
Well,
friend.
I did. But the thing is, they're not all you got to get like a 9.6 or a 9.8. And it's like, so I sent one in and got a 9.6 on it, put it on eBay, sold it for $1,000. But I've got, I've got like 20 some of them in there.
I mean, there's 5 of us here that would love a copy. Or
I would
4,
love a copy.
4 of us.
And
Art's not here. So.
Just send me $1,000. I don't care.
Here's the problem: is there's very few that are that high grade because all of them got little dings.
Well, yeah, because people are walking around. It's a freebie, and usually like free comic book day, you see kids, and it's awesome, right? Like kids that don't know about collecting, they go, "Oh, cool comic," and they grab it and they kind of crunch it up in their hand. There was probably a lot of that going on.
But that was the one time I was happy they sent me 25 copies of the book.
Always ask for 50. You probably end up getting 30.
I know, but I don't want that.
Always, but you do though, because you never know.
You never know.
And when you go to shows, you can always bring 1 or 2, and somebody that's not an Aaron Lopresti fan but is an Archie fan will go, why do you have? I drew that. Boom, conversation. New Aaron Lopresti fan.
All right,
that's right.
Okay,
that's right. New sale of Wraith of God 3. You just lost sales because.
Listen,
of it.
you like some Jughead shit? Check this out. You like
you like some Jughead shit?
Yeah, you check this out. You into ankles?
That's right. I got a saucy one for you. All right, Tooch, what you got? Should I share the screen or no?
Yeah, sure. You can share it. I couldn't find a good black and white, but speaking of covers, it was the Deja Thoris one, and again, I kind of put it in my portfolio at San Diego, almost like oh, look what I can do, sort of thing. Like, you have like those pieces you like, you just put it in there. And again, San Diego's crazy, as if you guys know, and Aaron, sometimes one of them guys walks up and they just make you an offer that you can't refuse.
Yeah.
And, I'm like, I really don't want to sell that. And he's like, well, how much? And Debbie gave him a price, and he's like, okay. And
yeah,
I'm like,
dude, you know what? That's only happened to me a couple times. And not even with my own art, but you go absurd price because you don't want to sell it. Absurdities. And they go, that's great. And you go, oh, what?
Yeah, I should ask for 1,000 more.
Yeah,
Holy
exactly. So
shit.
we sold it for a good price too. I don't know, like maybe like $3,000 or something crazy like that.
That's amazing. Well, dude, it's worth it. It's worth it.
Yeah, I'd let it go.
Yeah,
especially,
I'm like, okay.
You know what? Here's the wonderful thing about our kind, so to speak, this sort of last of the Mohican generation that are the people that actually craft and do it. We do a lot of digital and we do a lot of paper, but we actually craft. These are literally going to be artifacts. Everything is going to be an artifact. And while some things have higher value because of things, the fact that is a real thing and not some digital thing is very important.
It's making me wish I got invited to that comic artists expo down in Florida.
I know.
Oh, the OA one?
Yeah, this is their second year doing it. Bart's going to that. It's the week after Albuquerque.
Is he invited to it as a guest, like to pay for his room and all that stuff, like a regular?
As far as I know, yeah. Yeah, because he doesn't go to shows unless he gets invited.
Bart wouldn't go down there if he wasn't getting paid for it.
Well, yeah. What's the expectation at that? Because like I saw that and I was like, I have no originals. I mean, I'd love to go to walk around.
There's 75 artists.
As a guest, are you supposed to bring originals?
Yeah, you're selling it's 75 comic artists. Jimmy and Amanda go, and he's like, "You doing that show?" I'm like, "No." I'm like,
so you're literally, the people that attend that show are literally just there to buy art.
Yeah.
Well, there's but there's dealers and stuff as well.
Yeah. No, well, that's what I'm saying. I'd be very interested to walk around.
Yeah, same here. Yeah.
Even like I don't know about you guys. Aaron, you saw me in San Diego, so you saw it in person. I almost get high off of like, holy shit, Mobius touched this. You know what I mean? Like, this is fucking crazy.
He swooned a couple times. I had to catch him.
Yeah, I know. I
Nuts,
literally do. And it's sort of intoxicating when you like when I'm holding a Jack Kirby, $150,000 piece of artwork, and you're holding it in your hand, and you're like, this is a part of history, and like, it's I think I would probably lose my cool at that show. You know what I mean?
Did you guys ever go to the Spectrum shows?
No.
Oh, I mean, it's all fantasy art, but if you're a fan of that stuff, which I am, and I know a lot of the guys that do that stuff for book covers and gaming and stuff. That's all I did. I mean, I set up there, but man, I couldn't wait to get away from my table and go.
I didn't even know they did shows.
Yeah, they don't do them anymore. I don't think, but they're in Kansas City, and I went twice, and that's where I got like. I got some originals from Paul Bonner, who does like all that Wizards of the Coast stuff and Trolls and things like that. In fact, and then I got Scott Gustafson, who's a children's book painter.
Mm-hmm.
Got a piece from him. It's just cool stuff that we don't see all the time. And I love going to those art shows.
You're a dedicated collector, Aaron. So I got a question for you. Two questions. One, what is the most you ever paid for a piece of original art? And what is the most you ever paid for a comic book?
Wow.
The most I ever paid
for everybody or Aaron?
Aaron.
The most I ever paid for original piece of art was that Bisley painting that he did for my Wraith of God cover, which was with the it was $1,500 for the painting. And then, so it was all $6,000 for everything. So I got to keep the original, and he did the that covered the.
Okay.
And that's the most I've spent on a comic book.
Well, that one though is a business expense. You can write the whole darn thing off.
Well, you're darn right, I did.
Versus like buying a piece of rights in art or something like that.
I never dropped that much coin on anything except that Bisley piece. But comic book, $3,500, Golden Age Captain America book.
What number?
Oh, what issue?
18.
Huh.
Let's say.
So who did the insides to that?
I've got number 7.
You probably rolled it up and stuck it in your back pocket too. You lousy.
You don't have number 7, do you?
Yeah, I do. It's the second appearance of the Red Skull.
Wow.
Man.
How long have you
famous-
had that
It's
for?
the famous Kirby cover where he's swinging and Bucky is holding onto his waist.
Yes.
Hey,
Yeah.
you know what? I'm
No,
going to
well-
interrupt. I'm going to interrupt because that's my job tonight. I'm the interrupter.
Paid $400, Aaron.
Yeah, Grant.
I hope it's in a
Grant.
bag and board.
No. Let's
See-
just call. Hold on a second. I'm just saying. No,
Let
please.
me interrupt your speech.
No, let me. No, I
Let
got
me
something to
interrupt.
say.
God damn it. You motherfucker.
I want to say something
Uh,
about this.
Yeah, no. What I'm saying, Graham, this was an incredible preview of what could be a great topic. Because I'm like, soon as you said that, I was like, oh shit, I haven't thought about that. That's a great roast topic all by itself.
Yeah, you're right.
Yeah.
So that's
Everybody
why. That's
shut
all I
up.
wanted
Don't
to
tell
say.
anybody anything.
That's all I wanted to say. That's
Yeah,
all I
nobody
wanted to
say
Well-
anything because I think we know what Graham's topic is in a few weeks.
All I
goes before
wanted to
Graham,
say
though.
was, all I wanted to say was Graham took advantage of the fact that he was actually working professionally in the 80s, and he bought all these old comics and this artwork in the 80s when they weren't like ridiculously priced.
So you mean
Well, that's
he's
true. I
he
did
has
buy
great
that.
instincts, is what you're saying?
Yeah,
I did buy that in the either late 80s or early 90s.
I didn't have any money then.
Yeah,
No.
same.
No.
Same.
I didn't
same,
either.
Same,
Well,
same.
My
you
wife had
spent
to
it
get a
wisely,
second
though.
job.
You
Yeah,
spent
but
it
Graham,
wisely.
you
though.
had. I mean, but Aaron, you had Shelley, and everybody loved Shelley and remembers
Not in
her.
the 80s. I didn't have her though.
Oh, you didn't? Oh.
I had no money and no women in the 80s. It was a tough
Got
time.
no
for me.
money and you got no car. You got no
Well, the reason
girl.
you had
and
no
there
women
you
is
are.
you had no money.
That's right. It goes hand in hand.
Well,
You're exactly
well,
right.
I mean, he didn't have any women because of that, but it was mostly because of this. That's why.
I had short hair in the 80s. Shorter
That's
hair in the
beautiful.
80s.
That's
Dude,
beautiful.
it's like Cube says, man. Life ain't nothing but bitches and money, right, Fraga Boom?
That's what
That's
I've heard. I've
Money
heard
and
that.
That's right. All right.
I've heard that on occasions.
We'll have time for another round, so let me get
Yes.
mine in here real quick. So I worked on a couple issues of Deadpool, probably 25 years ago now, and I think I still have every page except for one that was in my portfolio at a show, and I had it priced because I'm like Graham. I stopped selling stuff like probably 4 years into the business, but I
You
would still
you
take
guys
stuff
are
to
wise.
shows, put a high price on it. And then if
Wise.
somebody was like, I'll buy it for that, I would just
Right.
eat it and whatever. But
Yeah,
I've always
invest
wanted
in
this page
yourself.
back. So
Oh yeah,
dude.
that's a good one. That's a
So, yep.
solid figure, great layout.
Oh, I got a Deadpool too. You just reminded me. I got a cover. I wish I had back a Deadpool cover.
yeah. So
Good
yep,
man.
this is the and I inked this. So technically I could just get the and it was lettered, digitally. So the original art doesn't have lettering on it. So yeah, I could always do what I told Dan to do, blue line it, re-ink it, and then just write recreation so I have it. But
Sure.
yep. So this is one that I was like, damn it.
Did
That's
you
a
sell
great.
it
That's a
to
great
us?
figure. I love that.
What
That's
year
really
did you
nice.
sell it?
Oh, I sold it probably the same year I drew it. So it was like 97, 98.
Oh, so it's before the whole craze.
Yeah, before.
Oh,
big
yeah.
bucks were there to be had. Yeah.
Yeah. So yep, that is yet another one that I regret. But who knows if I can find the pencils to it, because it's before I scan stuff. So I got a photocopy. If I can find it, I might take my own advice and just blue line it. Just to have.
That's really a nice piece, man. I like that.
Well, I got shit. It's hard to read, but the Deadpool figure wasn't in the script. It was just those 5 panels, and it was coming back. So there were 2. I drew part of the book, and another guy did. The other guy drew the present day stuff, and I drew the flashback. So this page followed like a chunk of present day stuff, and I was like, well, if we're going back to doing a flashback, these 5 panels are kind of boring, and Deadpool always breaks the fourth wall. So I'm just going to draw him, a cool shot of Deadpool just to spruce up the page. So the writer decided to take a shot at me and go, "Oh, hi kids, Deadpool here. hate to interrupt the story like this, but our fine artist had the overwhelming urge to draw me in this pinup shot, even though it's nowhere in the script.
Yeah.
Let's
Oh,
return to our
shit.
story why I teach Michelangelo there the error of his ways.
Oh,
shit.
shit.
Who wrote that?
Priest.
Dude, Priest is a savage. That I worked with him on Panther. Andy, this is a money-making recommendation. See that Deadpool figure? What's really cool about it is it's got bumper sticker quality. Even if you recreated that entire figure without those 5 panels and finished up that the left side of the
Yeah, the
drawing,
elbow. Yeah.
yeah, and then put like maybe a you know what a stroke is, like a bit of a white stroke around it. You can turn that into a magnet or stickers, you know, and just have them.
Yeah, it's
to
true.
to give away.
Well, you should put a word balloon up there chastising that the writer didn't give you anything to draw with it.
Yeah.
Right.
Well,
You know, you can also
I made a note. I made a note when I sent it up, because this was, even though I inked it, this was still, you know, sending originals up to the office. And I said, hey, why don't you just have him say something, not that much, just something real quick, just like, hey, back to the flashback or going back to the past, you know, whatever. Instead, he took a shot at me.
He threw you under the bus.
Right.
Oh, well.
You know, you could make that a sketchbook, like a sketch cover book of your pinups, and you could draw someone with, you know, Deadpool's got his arm on their head or something. You could draw people.
Yeah.
Yeah.
The
cool.
You know what's a trip is that when I work with Priest on Black Panther, I always like to talk to my writer. It's a collaborative thing, you know.
No, I usually do. Yeah.
You know, I go,
Not
hey,
me.
you know, I do, man. I try to think about, like, you know, where's your head at, and you know, those sort of things, because you know, pull some teeth. Sometimes on page it works, and sometimes when you have to visualize it, it doesn't work, and you want clarification. That happens a lot. So I'm working on Black Panther, and I email Mike Martz, you know, my editor, and I'm like, hey, you know, can I get his email and whatever? And I start emailing him, and basically I was told by the editor that Priest said, don't ever let the artist, you know, reach out to me like that again. He like scolded Martz for giving me,
Really?
you know, the email. Yeah. But then, you know, I saw him in Memphis. I've never met him before, and I saw him in Memphis, and I didn't. I'm not a confrontational guy, but I'm a resolution guy. I like resolution.
Yeah.
So I just, you know, said, hey, Priest, yeah, man, I did Black Panther 50 with you and done. You know, I had all kinds of questions, but, you know, I wanted to reach out to you, but Mike Martz told me that you said you didn't want to hear anything from me and blah, blah, blah. And he's like, man, I don't know what you're talking about, you know?
Sure, that's what he said.
Was he James Owsley then, or
Right, yeah. No, he was, you know, he was there. I think he was sitting next to Howie at that show. And then you had Ann Nesenti was right there.
Okay.
Yeah, it's weird. I can still see it in my mind that Kevin Eastman was back there. Yeah.
That's cool.
But yeah. But
all right, well,
what a
let's do the third round. Lopresti.
round 3. Fight.
Oh, I see it. Can I pull it up, I guess?
Yeah, it's good.
You sold this? Nah, it doesn't surprise me, actually.
Marvel made a T-shirt out of this too. It's the first time I ever got a T-shirt made, and they didn't send me it. I had to go buy one. But yeah, this
Wait,
is
did they just pull the figure, or did they use everything?
No, they pulled the figure.
Oh, really? Because this whole thing would make a great, you know, T-shirt. Lopresti.
I know this is my my Stranko tribute issue, and I'm like, God, I wish I had
Fucking
this.
awesome.
So yeah, I did the whole issue, like, if you know, with the idea that Stranko laid it out, you know, how he might do the storytelling.
Did
So
you?
it was a lot of
Oh,
fun.
it's a great issue, and it's actually, I think it's actually, you know, it's not super pricey, but it's not like a $5 book. as a back
Yeah.
issue either.
Yo,
No,
you know what's exciting for me, Aaron, about this is that I know exactly this period of time, like intimately, because I did the flashback of Peter Parker.
Oh,
So
did you do the minus
yeah,
one, Peter Parker?
yeah. So we were doing. So this is what you were doing at that time, and that was what.
That's
That's
cool.
crazy. Yeah, when that was like '97, right? Like
Yeah.
yeah, around crazy.
Did you
That's
hand draw
awesome.
the psychedelic thing, Aaron?
What's that?
The green little swirly thing? Did you
Yeah.
hand draw that?
Yep.
Damn, son.
Oh wow. So
Well,
wait, is it?
I used a French curve, but yeah, it's hand drawn. That was not
Yeah.
digital.
But
Oh,
did
yeah,
you
but you
fill the
got it
blacks
all.
in, or is it just
Yes.
an outline?
No, I think I filled the. Well, let me try to think. With her, this black here on this guy's suit and the black dress, I may not have filled it in. I can't remember now.
You
Yeah, but
might
they
have
have a
asked
halo.
for the white
original.
outline around all those figures.
Yeah, there's a bit of a halo.
So you might have blacked it in then and
Yeah,
whited
you're
out
right.
the
I
edge
might have. Yeah, there is a halo around him,
so that
isn't
they
there?
could lift it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Maybe
Well,
I
here's the
did.
question: did you give a color note to have them knock that out?
Yes, I'm sure I did. Because I mean, the whole thing was that this is like Stranko stuff, and the letter on the front page really blew it, pissed me off. The first story page is like I left the floor like white, and it was like this lab scene, right? And it was like, but it was off in the background, and all the perspective was there though, right? And I told the letterer, I said, I want the lettering on the floor in perspective, so that it's like part of the artwork, right? I should have
Like
just
a
done it myself, but
like a spirit type thing.
yeah, or something
Yeah.
Eisner would have done.
Yeah.
And he did it flat and totally ruined the whole perspective. And I was like, ugh. So, numbskulls.
And now we know why you letter your own stuff like that.
I do my sound effects lettering now. Back then I sucked at lettering, and that's why I got good at it. So, or at least good.
How
enough
did you get good at it? See, I keep asking you these questions because I have my weaknesses are when it comes to drawing likenesses, lettering, logos, ladies, and lay architecture.
It's all the L's.
Yes.
Terry Dodson was in the studio and he did lettering really, really well. And it really kind of pissed me off. I was like, I need to learn to do that. What I don't do is like recreate like straight lettering that's really ruled well. I mean, I can do it because I use a ruler and stuff, but what I do is I bend the letters. I always bend the letters and I always offset them so they're sort of like bumpy and stuff like that. And that helps me hide my deficiencies.
My deficiencies come in the math of it, because most stuff has a design language, right? Like a current, like if it's done right, it has a kerning and
Right.
and like this is the serifs, and I don't know what the terms are, but these are just so wide. So then it ends up like, if you ask me to do a Muka style logo, dude, I'll go crazy. Like, if I could detail it, and that'd be great. But if you said, hey, give me a straight, like, ruled out, like X-Men style logo, no way, no how.
I tend to, instead of doing like curves, I do like angles a lot, because that's another way to keep from making something look really bad. And make sure the letters are thick enough, and all that stuff sort of works together and hides the fact that I'm not a great letterer. So
This logo is terrible.
it is.
That
It's
one is,
wimpy.
yes.
It's wimpy.
Yeah, it's really wimpy.
Yep, I agree.
Yeah, it is not. It does not pop.
Do you mean wimpy in the way that he will gladly take a burger today?
No, not bold enough.
And pay you.
Okay.
What is up, Mr. Brohawk in the
David.
chat?
Oh man,
Hello.
what's up, brother?
Keep those prayers going out to David, man.
That's
Yeah,
right.
Yeah.
definitely. Yeah,
Good to see you're in the chat.
my friend's brother didn't make it.
Oh, no way.
Yeah,
Oh.
yeah, he passed last night. I woke up this morning to the text. So,
Oh my God.
Very sorry.
yeah, it's tough on the family. He was young. I mean, he was only in his 50s.
Man.
Oh,
Yeah.
Oh, well, Andy, show this real quick. This has nothing to do with anything except I walked in the San Diego airport. And this dude was wearing a tank top. He had this tattooed on his back.
Really?
No way.
Yep.
The whole thing?
The whole thing on his back.
That's not you. Who drew
How'd
that?
you see
I
his
did.
back?
Oh, that's you?
You didn't
Yeah.
take a picture?
No, I didn't have a camera or anything. I
Were
had a
you like
flip
at
phone.
San
Oh,
Francisco?
wait a minute. Was he?
airport?
Did he not have a shirt on?
No, he had a tank top, like a wife beater.
Yeah.
That was like
Yeah,
really
yeah.
loose. Like I could see like the top of it and then the
Oh.
sides of it. And I was
Did
like,
did he pull you away to a special area?
no, he was just drinking. I just walked. I didn't even stop and say anything. I just saw it and was like blown away. I was like, okay, now you can feel good about yourself. Someone actually got your artwork tattooed on their back.
Why? Hey, Aaron.
Why did you say so to him?
Why do you? Yeah,
Well,
exactly.
he
Billy,
took the guy's shirt and lifted it up so he could see the whole picture.
yeah.
The
Yeah.
guy turned around and just
Needless to say, Aaron was knocked out for about 15 minutes.
exactly.
Yeah.
That
Guy's
was in
like, what
San
the hell
Diego.
are
I
you
don't
doing back
remember. But anyway, I just throw that out
They
there.
took your wallet. They took your wallet out of your pocket to see who you were. Lopresti. How do I know that name? This
Actually,
guy
I'm
with
gonna-
your name on his
That's right.
back.
Wake up,
I'm
wake
going
up.
to cheat because we're on our second
Yeah.
last round. But this is the other page I was going to show until Randy reminded
Full
me.
size. Full size. Yeah. Oh,
Silver
that's
Surfer
gorgeous.
Because
Which one? The one on the left?
this one here, the Silver Surfer here.
Oh,
Yeah.
okay. They're both beautiful. I was looking
What
at
book
the.
is that from?
Sentinel Squad, the same one that had the tattoo guy. That's
Oh,
why I brought that up.
Okay.
But what happened was there was a splash page in here of the Sentinel fighting Galactus, and I kept this, and so that meant Norm Ratman got the Silver Surfer page.
Oh,
Well, decisions, right?
Yeah, exactly. But anyway, there you go.
bad choice.
That's
All
a
right,
great,
Dan.
great image.
Okay,
Oh,
okay. So my last ones are more serendipitous. We're not gonna say that they were lost or anything like that because they weren't. They were not lost. Let's go down to the next image. I think I have to. There we go. Here we are. So this particular image,
Insane.
it's
dude, what the fuck? Oh my God.
yeah, I know, right? Yeah, this is like one of those like, hey, when I die, I hope they remember me for this one. So my
Did they have you? I'm sorry. After you finish this and like say if your parents saw this, did they have you tested?
no, man, you could see the date on there. It says October 31st of 94. So that was 30 years ago.
Wow.
Yeah, it's crazy, but I have like when I look at this cover, I see stories. I remember like they're in space. You never see them in space in the series yet, but I have ideas for it and whatever. But so my writer, my guy who I write with on Black Flag, he's coming in and scripting over my plot. I've known him since he was 12. He was a fan. And then he ended up coming up to the Extreme Studios office and was an intern at Extreme. And really just he's 40 something now, but you go, good, really good kid, good head on his shoulders, very smart, and for his birthday, I had 2 FedEx boxes. In one was this Supreme double pager, where Supreme is like getting knocked through all these toys, and it's like super detailed. And this was in the other
Wow.
FedEx box.
Wow.
And I gave him the what do you call it? The Price is Right. Door number 1, door number 2. And he's like,
Is that
yeah,
3 pages?
It's 3. It's 3. Yeah. And he's like, that one. And I was like, you chose wisely, young man, because they were both great. But anyway, he still has it. It's on his wall. it's a forever gift. You know, I love him
Sure.
forever and ever. I love that guy. And then the other one, so bonus round. This one here, this next one, hopefully, or is it at the top? Is it at the top? There it is. There it is.
Okay.
So this piece here, I had this idea while I was working at Mattel that I would do. I got the idea from two things. Walt Simonson had just put out a Ragnarok T-shirt, and then Bob Layton had said something in a post. It is 2015 or so. He said something in a post like, "I want to do a comic book where it's 22 pages on, and it's one page on each shirt." You know, so then you have to, like, each day you walk around and you have a piece of the story and everybody else could see it and shit. And I was like, yo, that's fucking awesome, right? And of course I was like really inspired. So I said, what if I did a T-shirt that was limited edition, and I only made 100 of them, and I drew up a unique piece that was only on that shirt. And I silk screened them all myself. I made them in my garage. I got the silk screen done. I learned how to do it in high school, so I made all the shirts myself. And but the here's the catch. These T-shirts were $100. Okay. So I said, this is $100 T-shirt, and there are only 100 of them, and I made this many of this many of that, this many of that, and they all came with a numbered certificate. But
Sure.
one of the reasons that I had that premium on it is that I said, by buying a shirt, you're buying a ticket to own this original.
Right.
And so by buying a shirt, you're buying a raffle ticket essentially. So you're getting the shirt. You're getting a certificate, you're getting a number, but you're also entering to win this art. I didn't sell all 100 of them, but I sold quite a few, and it was worth the experiment. And you know, we did the raffle, and it ended up going to a wonderful guy by the name of Michael Milton. And so this is in his possession, but this is one of those other pieces where I put my balls in. And was just going crazy on it. And I was out of comics for 12 years at this point. This is like one of the first comic book images that I had drawn in 12 years. So it was.
So when you silk screened the shirt, it was black and white like this on a white shirt,
just like that on a white shirt. Yeah, I have 2 copies myself, but there are a few out there. There's a few out there, but these are essentially collectibles.
Yeah. That's
cool. but anyhow, this artwork is, like I said, it's not a regret thing. It's just those pieces that are out there that you go, man, I wish I still had it. But I'm glad who had these two. I'm glad who are in possession of it are in possession of it. You know what I'm saying? Like that. I'm so joyful about that. So no regrets, ragrats on this one. Just happiness, but pieces that I wish I had. I mean I went pretty hammy on this, and I think I had.
Yeah, but how'd all that detail work out with screen?
It worked out great. It worked out great because
really,
because when you work in silk screening, I went thin, knowing that certain emulsion and certain exposures would plus these lines. They would kind of embolden a little bit. So for print, this is a little wispy. Right, but for a T-shirt, imagine that it bleeds a little, right? Just a little bit. So that's what you work for that. But yeah, what was, I don't remember the date on it. Let me see.
I'm fat. That picture, that boot right there, that close up of that boot.
Yeah,
I'm just fascinated by the detail and that. I that is just not me. I would.
I know. Same here.
I'm organic. I like to indicate that there's laces.
problems,
You wearing
man.
fucking
Yeah.
freaking grommets in there. Jesus.
And see this tattoo right here? That tattoo on my leg right here. This thing.
Wait, it's
I don't
not
know if
moving.
there's- Oh, it's
Yeah,
not.
gotta move.
Okay. Screen left on his calf where it's ripped, and you see a black flag tattoo.
Still zoomed in too tight.
It is.
Yeah.
No,
Oh,
it's-
you can barely see it at the top of
Yeah.
the screen. I can see it.
Yeah,
There it is.
Yeah,
There it is.
But yeah, no, I mean,
Where?
I like right. Boom.
Screen
Yeah.
left, where his
yeah,
calf,
you can't see it.
the
Yeah,
pants are
right.
ripped on his calf.
Yeah, upper
Oops.
left corner. You could see sort of a black flag, but it's hard to see when it's not in color.
Okay.
Yeah, but this is I like things like I put little details on his knives. I got everything that I love I put into this stuff, and I'm sure you guys are that way too. I'm like super transparent about it. You know where I got this skull on a knife from? You guys remember when Dolph Lundgren was the Punisher?
Mhm.
Oh yeah.
He had that on the end of his knives, and I thought that is the coolest shit I've ever seen.
Oh,
You know,
that's cool.
Yeah. I would probably do this a bit different today because his face is a little chubby and too youthful. But this is another thing. I was putting these Band-Aids on there to give people an impression of the form. You can kind of give like the illusion of a
Right.
plane
Mhm.
by putting stuff on there. But yeah. Anyhow,
What's all the stuff swirling around him?
So it's he has these ripped armbands. Like imagine you tied you ripped a piece of cloth and just tied it to your arm and the wind flows.
Yeah.
Okay.
But what it's for, Graham, I put them there for design's sake.
Yeah.
That's all. Like see
Those
how
are McFarland armbands.
see.
Well, it's
here-
funny when it was small. I'm like, why does he have webbing all around him?
Yeah, no, but when
I thought it
you
was
go
smoke or something.
No. See, when you go in here, I would go in and do just sort of extra stuff.
Yeah.
You know, that was just the case at the even now, even today. But it's where is it at? There it is. Just sort of having fun exploring shapes. Again, I would totally do this different today. This is so sloppy.
No,
But I
Hey,
did
go
this-
back to the 2-page. Go back to the big 3-page spread or whatever it was. One.
Oh, the cover? Yeah, sure.
Yeah.
Hold on. Come on, this one
Zoom in on it around his
What-
waist.
right in by the belt,
Yeah.
right in here. Okay. Yeah.
See, Dan,
What's up?
this guy's huge like a bodybuilder, and just like a bodybuilder in those little Speedos, no package. You did good reference, buddy.
You know what happened during this time, and I'll get done with my story real soon. I
Something
apologize for going
catastrophic
so long.
happened, I'll tell you that.
No, it was so there was this really amazing guy that get brought into the studio. His name is Petty. And Petty's amazing. I'm still friends with him, but he did a few issues of Supreme. He did them after me. They have a really McFarlane-y look, but imagine like McFarlane on mushrooms, right? And Petty liked to smoke the weed and take mushrooms while he worked. So he was drawing Supreme, and he was literally putting like dong impressions in
his
like,
tights.
Yeah. Oh yeah. Because he's just when you're in that space, you're literally just kind of fucking working you're seeing this thing and you're just doing it, and so there's all these like, and he'd have these shots that were like pushing forward, with just like a lot of package work, and I remember Rob. I was in the office, and Rob pulled him into the office and said, "Petty, listen, I need to talk to you." He's like, "Yeah, Rob." And he goes, "Listen, your stuff is really dynamic, and it is. If you guys want me to pull it up at all?"
Yeah, go ahead real quick.
Okay, yeah, I will, just because it's hard to like I'm describing it, but without proper like the proper what do you call it, intro to his work, it's like you go, what are you talking about? So
He's not the guy. Like, I remember Larson on the second Deadly Duo miniseries had a guy when I couldn't draw it that was real Todd McFarlane, but that wasn't his name, I don't think.
No, I think that was the booth guy that he had, right? So okay,
Maybe.
so this is Petty, okay? Like and so you can see, hopefully this will turn the page. Turn the page, guy. What's going on? Why is it only just the cover? Maybe it was just the cover. Hold on. Oh, because he did the cover. Let's find the actual issue that he did. Oh, now I'm upset. That's sad. Where was it? Was it in? No, that's my.
I swear to God, Aaron, if you turn your camera off, you're just going to annoy the shit out of me. Dan's
Here
already
it is.
got
Here it is. I
Graham.
found it. I found it. I found it.
Story
I got confused by the Matsuda cover.
I gotta check on my dog. Hang on.
And look at the credits on there, guys. What does that say? Matsuda and who?
Art to Bear, who didn't show up today.
Art to Bear, who didn't show up today. So
Yeah,
Petty,
what the hell?
see, art by Petty.
Oh, never heard of him.
Petty had like a really very sort of McFarlane feel to his stuff, but in a wild way, very wild. See how he would really force those fingers all in your face and then really push that hand away? Because when you're on mushrooms, you really feel that space.
Yeah, I was going to say, I don't like to disparage, but that's not even like forced perspective. That's just not
mushroom trip.
Right.
I know.
Yeah.
But if you are focused like only on the hand and you're drawing, I'm only talking from someone who's done that before. But
sure.
Anyhow, this is Petty stuff, very McFarlane-y. But he was drawing. See the junk.
Holy crap!
Yeah, I know. But it was.
The colorist could have downplayed that.
Yeah. No, and bro, this is what I'm trying to tell you. It has been. The junk has been minimized. But let me finish the Rob story, man. So Rob pulls him in and says, "Hey, listen, about the and Rob can't say it. He goes about the listen, our audience wants hamburgers. Stop giving them hot dogs." I fucking died, and we all basically realized like Rob gets kind of offended by the bulginess. So anyway, that was my very long way of why Sniper didn't have a big package. It was around that time where it was like,
oh, that's funny.
Don't draw bulges. Rob will get mad,
Back off the package.
That's hilarious. Yeah. All right. Now we're at Graham.
Oh, you can go ahead and share it.
Top that, Graham. Got a package story for us?
Oh, yeah, baby.
Oh, that's a nice one.
Ooh.
Yeah, I wish I had this covered back. I think
it looks cool. I'd like to see it in black and white.
I think Julie posed for that holding a baby doll.
That's awesome.
Yeah, I really liked it. It was very simple, but dynamic and powerful. Big single figure. And this is the other one that I wish I had back.
Oh, that's cool.
Harley Adam, huh?
Did you color that other one too?
No.
Okay, because the fire placement looked very planned.
Yeah.
Dude, this is awesome.
Which one of these was first, this or the Hawk World?
This one.
This John, who inked that? Does that say Bogdanov?
No, this is Brett Breeding.
Oh, Brett Breeding.
Yeah, Brett had inked about 4 or 5 of my Power of the Atom covers, and they were great. We made a super team. I wish he had inked the interiors. It could have been a really, really cool series.
I love Brett's stuff.
Yeah. Yeah, we really gelled really well.
Was this like when the Atom was in the jungle or something?
No. That was the Gil Kane one.
Oh, okay.
That was sort of the Atom.
Oh, okay. Yeah. Sorry.
Yeah, sort of.
But I mean, you drew him in that type of stuff that Gil did,
Yeah,
though.
yeah, he returned to that in this story, this outfit for some reason. I can't remember what it was. I
No,
don't
that's
remember.
cool.
Yeah, but that was a fun cover.
Yeah, like the
I did a
bees.
lot of fun covers with the Atom. I got one where he's like a bug. He's splattered up against a windshield, and the rain is coming down, and the windshield wiper is coming over on him. I still have that cover.
I was about to ask, and you don't have any of them, but you have one. So there you go.
I have at least one. I think I have a couple.
Oh, cool.
That I saved. Actually,
Wait, did you ink that one too, or
this one might have gone to Brett because I have a couple of the other ones. So what is it? We get 2 and he gets 1, or 3 we get 1.
yeah, it's like every third.
2 to 1.
Yeah.
Yeah. So if he did 4 covers, this might be the one he got.
Cool.
Yeah, that's it.
Nice. Teen
Hold on,
sensation.
just give me a second. Let me look for something. I have one pulled up. Frig it. Why not?
Billy, let me interrupt. No, I'm just kidding, man. I'm sorry. I'm an asshole.
Hang on.
Dan, you got to start getting up super early and getting back to the gym. Then you're going to start. Then that'll quit that because then you'll be like, it's bedtime, Dan. Got to go to bed.
Yeah.
Okay, you can share this page.
All right.
Yeah. So there's another page from Sergeant Rock, the Lost Battalion, that I did, and it's with this German sniper. So I had a buddy of mine, a guy I met, pose for me, who's a reenactor, and I gave him a piece of art of him in it, and he came to the Comic-Con, and there's maps thrown in there. So
yeah.
And he's like, wow, but I really like that one. I said, well, I was going to sell that one because I know I could sell it, for like $300-$400 or whatever.
Mm-hmm.
And I'm like, I'll tell you what, then if you want, I said, I'm giving you this one page, but if you want the other, can you give me like $250 for it? He said, yeah, sure. I'll mail it to you. I'll PayPal you. And he never paid me.
No.
And I haven't seen him or anything. I think I'm friends with him on Facebook or something, but because I know I could sell this page with a sniper with all the detail I did to it and everything like that. And
it's beautiful.
Yeah, that looks great.
Yeah, well, it's in his house somewhere now.
When are you and Fraga going to quit trusting people?
Tell
Have
me.
I taught you nothing?
Aaron trusts nobody.
Billy, that's right.
Well,
Billy, when you
it's a-
drew
it's
this,
a
were you
pendulum.
drawing on
cynical
Bristol?
bastard like me.
Yeah, it's on DC Artboard.
Oh, it is. Okay.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. It's all
Were
on.
you using their smooth or their rough stuff? Because they had the two.
I think. Let me see. I think this is the smooth paper. Yeah, it's
Okay.
smooth. I like the
That's
smooth
cool.
better.
Yeah.
But
This
it was
would be
just
fun
wondering
to.
what the
This would be
pencil
fun to
actually
ink. Billy, Billy,
What?
can you send me your JPEG of this? Because I think during warm-ups it would be fun to take a little stab at inking this. I'm just looking at that hand holding the documents.
Yeah, good luck to you.
What do you mean? Good luck.
Did you
to me, dude?
spray
I'll
it with
say,
anything
yeah.
to affix it? Did you, spray it so it won't smear with anything?
Oh yeah.
Fixative?
It's got fixative. Yeah, it's got spray fixative and everything.
Hey,
And we just
Billy.
painted my pencils.
Billy,
Oh no, I'm
look
just saying it's so
it.
much work. He just shot the unknown soldier in the face, in the head.
Oh,
Well,
Yeah.
I call it an unknown soldier to kind of.
Not
Yeah,
the unknown soldier.
yeah.
Hey.
Billy, send me
And-
this JPEG. I can do some little
Yeah.
fun digital ink warm-up stuff on
Yeah,
it.
sure, buddy. I'll send it to you. Absolutely.
Yeah, because it just looks tasty.
It
I've
was
inked,
fun,
I got to ink Andy, and I've inked Graham.
Yeah.
I
That's
went
cool.
nuts with this with all the detail, with everything. This is a Mannlicher rifle that he would have, because it's his own personal hunting rifle. But he also has an MP40 machine gun right there. So this
Did
is
you say it's called a Mannlicher?
a Mannlicher. Yep. Oh yeah.
Oh yeah, baby.
Oh.
So every gun has a female name, I hope.
I guess. Yeah, I guess you can name your rifles.
Yeah, Sheila, go kill that motherfucker, Mannlicher.
Yeah, I named my rifle when I was in the Army. When I was in the National Guard, it was Ebba, because that was Debbie's nickname back in the day. I don't know. I
She's
named her.
out there saving your life.
So and these pouches here are for the MP40, and then these right here are for his Mauser rounds. It's the same rounds, but he was supposed to be a very accomplished hunter. That's why he has his custom hunting rifle.
Did you?
Rock
cool.
ends up giving it to no, Sure Shot ends up giving it to Sergeant Rock because Rock uses himself as a decoy.
Hey,
Did
Billy,
you-
what motorcycle wheel is that?
It's an Indian. I think it's an Indian or Harley Davidson. I could definitely find it, but it's a cool scene. So little Short Shot hunts this guy. Oh, I should find that page. If you
Well,
guys...
Aaron had a question though. I just
What?
wanted to. I wanted to test your motorcycle knowledge.
No, I think it's.
I'll never leave.
What a
that alone.
callback that is. That's like 3 years ago. 2
I'll
years.
never leave. What were you gonna say, Aaron?
I was gonna.
You're
Did you send those pages in, or were you able to scan?
No,
them?
I scanned them in myself and played with the levels and digitally sent them in.
Okay, because I did pencils only on Captain Marvel for like 3 issues,
Mhm.
and so I fixated all of the pages, and then I put them in a FedEx box and sent them to New York. And every time they opened them, they said the whole plate. Everybody got high on the fumes just bursting out of the FedEx box.
Yeah.
From the fix it up, I sprayed all over it.
Can you share a link of that to see how it? I'd love to see. I'd love to see what you call it. How it reproduced.
What, the Captain
pencils.
Marvel stuff?
Yeah, he wants to see their production versus Billy's production. Is what he's
All
saying.
right, hang on.
No,
Billy, yours is super fucking clean, man. That's why I was like, send me a JPEG.
Well, that's why I
totally
threw out-
inkable.
Yeah, I threw out all those freaking roughs, and the roughs was where all the work was, and then this I
Oh,
just
yeah.
kind of cleaned it up. Like the roughs could have went right to color to begin with. I'm an idiot.
All right, while Aaron's looking for that. So my last one is actually from Earth 2, the last thing I did for DC, probably about 10 years ago now, maybe 12. And I worked with Trevor Scott.
Trevor's good.
And Trevor was fantastic. I mean, the inks he did, I thought were just great. And it was just one of the pages he got back and I didn't. And I did email him and ask him, hey, if you ever sell stuff, let me know. And he's like, okay. And, to this day, I haven't seen any of the work out there, but I would love to have gotten this page back.
Oh, wow.
First panel.
Fantastic.
Nice.
So
that's a lot of work in there, dude.
Yeah, it is.
Yeah, this would have been a fun one to.
What book is that, Andy?
It was Earth 2 is what it was called.
That was
Man.
DC?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Dude, Trevor was going off on this stuff.
Oh, he did such a nice job. I mean,
dude, it's really, really beautiful. This is envious good. This is wow. Holy shit,
Yeah.
man. Do you have any of this other stuff? Like you say you
Oh
don't
yeah,
sell
I've got
stuff
all my portion. Oh, I don't sell my stuff, so everything I got back I have.
Yeah.
So yeah, and I did 6 issues, but with the deadline was so screwed up that there was always somebody else working on the book as well. Cause I was like, I can't do it. So
There's so many figures.
I probably did a
man.
total of like 3.5 issues, but I've got all my portion and Trevor has all his because I've never seen any of it for sale. So
That's cool.
But yeah, I mean, he just, great job. So yep, this is the one that I wouldn't mind having back. And I tell you, this is what kills me with DC when it comes to continuity stuff. They just don't pay attention. They send me reference for Mongol, and in some panels he's got 4 fingers and a thumb, and most of the stuff it was only 3, so that's why I went with the 3. But I'm just like, do you guys not police anything? It's like, what are you doing? It's like, pick one.
How do you know which world it's happening on? Maybe it's the world that has those fingers.
Yeah. So
I like when you need reference and then they send you like JPEGs from different panels, from different issues of a character, and not one of them's a back view.
Yeah.
Yes.
Oh yeah. Yep. Agent Cub says, "Why don't I sell my stuff?" How come? Well, I did. So I started in 91. I stopped selling stuff around 94, 95 because when I was at the Kubert school, I remember Joe used to always say, "Don't sell your stuff. Don't sell your stuff." And the other reason is I never I never relied on it as a source of income. So I was like, well, I've already been paid. What's the point in selling it? I'd rather just keep it.
See,
So-
I always had to have that cash for my augment my income.
No, I just went and worked the street. It
No,
was a
yeah.
little tougher, but
You were younger
I've got
than me.
art.
You could get a little more action.
And you got a better
Yeah.
page rate on the street.
Yeah.
That's right.
Oh, look at that.
So there you go. That's from my pencils, Billy. That's what.
It looks great. It looks great.
That's cool.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Who was coloring this stuff? Was it Sotomayor?
Yep.
That's what I thought. Yeah, he did a good job.
Damn, Aaron, that's fantastic.
I was doing.
I remember
these-
you doing this stuff, and
I
I
was
was like,
looking at
damn it, I love
costumes.
that character. But the only reason I really wasn't like, you bastard, is because it was that, it wasn't his classic costume.
Right. Well, there was different costumes in here.
Then I would have been paying you to go, let me draw at least a few figures.
Yeah, I was doing this at CrossGen while we were going under. I was in the back drawing these pages for Marvel when I was supposed to be doing Lady Death, I think, or something like that. I don't know.
Yeah. Yeah.
I'd like
But
to
yeah.
see somebody do that, the classic Gil Kane costume. But I'd like to see it done in a CC Beck style.
Oh, that'd be fun.
CC's back doing Marvel's Captain Marvel.
Yeah,
That'd be good.
I got
Wouldn't
to
that be
draw that costume for a short little story, but obviously I didn't do it in that style. But that would be fun to see.
It would be.
Wayne Boring did an issue of Captain Marvel with that costume.
Yes.
No.
Or he
What?
did two of them, I think.
What was
Did he do one or two?
what was the? Let's see if I got it, man. I want to know what that is. You know what it is?
Oh, it is great. I love it. He did one or two issues. I can't remember who
what
inked
what
it,
was
but
the what was the name of the book?
it was Captain Marvel back from the 70s. It was
Oh, It was the Gay Adventures of Captain Marvel.
it was after
Captain
Gil
Marvel.
Kane though.
Yeah, it doesn't look like I have it. I got like what ifs and some other shit, but I don't have it.
All right, well, let's go around the horn and Aaron, because we're going on a little over 2 hours, so let's pimp it out, like we usually do. Links for everybody's campaigns, even Art, who decided not to show up. And on a real note, I hope he's okay because he hasn't messaged as far
he
as I
didn't
know.
message. Usually he would say something, so he's all right.
Yeah, hope he's okay.
Um,
So anyhow,
Wraith of God 3, Fear Hollow. Boy, do I have a page I want to show you guys. It's not quite done yet. I'm going to show it tomorrow on Graybeards. So tune in for that. But yeah, that campaign is going strong on Indiegogo. The Wraith and Esther face off against the Headless Horseman. Good quality, fun comic book entertainment. You don't want to miss it. Please check it out and back the campaign today.
that's right. A little birdie told me you might see Esther's shoulder some point in this book.
Oh.
So
No.
No.
Promises,
Never mind.
promises.
all right, Dan.
Well, working on Black Flag. I've been streaming a lot more. I've been taking a morning sort of stance around 10 a.m. It's not every day, but it's been every day. But it's not
I
every
know.
day. I'm not doing it tomorrow because I got to go get my tires fixed. But you can come hang out, watch people pop in. I've had random guests so far. I've been drawing the book live so people can watch the process, and we tell stories. And my buddy Will, the guy who was the recipient of that triple gatefold, he is helping me moderate while I draw. Because it's really hard to draw and talk, guys.
It is.
And what I realized was it's drawing and talking isn't as crazy as I call it taking the needle off the record. And when you go and you read the chat, you're engaging a different part of your brain, and then you go to answer, and sometimes you go back to the drawing, but you don't. Sometimes you get locked in and you don't get as productive as you'd like to be. So what I found was having Will talk and sort of say, hey, so-and-so asked this and that. I can just talk and draw. So we've been doing that. And, Ethan stopped by before, all the bros, get Andy in there. And, you guys are all
Yeah, it's
invited
fun.
if you ever want to do it. But it's super non-formal. It's just a hangout thing, but it's also a way for the backers to watch me work on the book and That's it. That's it. And also getting a little more. I remember something. The more you do something, the better you get at it. So I
I've heard
figure,
that.
a bit more talking and drawing, I might get to a point where I'm really good at it. So
We're hoping.
that's it. But anyway, thank you everybody that has been watching. We had a good time this morning, and all I know is the other show that I'm very excited about is this man's show, Words of Iron, which I'm sure he'll tell you about.
Oh, it's not a
Yeah.
show. It's just shorts. Each day I pick a subject. I give you the words of iron about it, and that's it. It's in and out in like 2 minutes.
Yeah, but that's something for people to look out for.
Yeah, definitely. Thank you for mentioning that, Dan.
Yeah.
I just started that. It's to help creators, circumvent obstacles, pass on information, and about the business of working in comics. So subscribe to my channel, and you'll get notifications when those go up. Usually about every day. I'm going to try and post one every day. But as far as what I'm working on right now, I'm working on Escape from Monster Island. Joe Frankenstein 3, The Eye of Ra is closing for good, probably by the end of this month, because Anthony's working on the last batch of pages. And I've scripted the first 30 from his drawings. And I want to try and get the files ready to go out by the beginning of February. So that'll be closing down. If you haven't backed that one, check it out. Meanwhile, I'm also working on Escape from Monster Island. I just finished page 20 today. If you want to make me big, Andy.
Oh,
Original art.
Nice.
There we go.
look at that down shot. Holy shit.
That's cool.
Wow. Wait a minute. This is traditional?
Yeah, the whole book is done traditionally.
Isn't it hurtful how Aaron never pays attention to any of us? It's always just about him. You've only said that I don't know how many times.
You should expect that from me by now.
That's
Well,
true.
you know why, Andy? It's not because he has an ego. It's because he needs the confirmation. And the thing is, Aaron.
Yeah, so that's page 20.
You're awesome.
Along nicely on it, and that's the last full page I'll be sharing with everybody. And from then on, it'll just be a panel here and there. So check it out. Links are in there. This is the third part of my trilogy, and you can get all 3 books there as well. So if you missed out on the other 2.
I love anything with mine cards.
With what?
Nice.
Mine cards.
Mining carts.
All right, Billy, it's your turn.
Oh, mining carts.
Yeah,
Mine cards,
Yeah.
man. The
Mining
drawings.
carts.
I thought he said he likes mining hearts.
Yeah,
I like mine
mining
carts.
There we go.
Yeah, right there. Yep.
There we go.
Mining carts. Sorry.
Okay, there we go.
Yeah, I like anything with mining carts. It's always a good time.
Cool things for those of you who might have bought our Rocketeer Pavlichenko. The books are in.
Ooh, hold on.
And they are going out. We packed a bunch of them up. I'm waiting because I forgot to tell my printer that I had a stretch goal trading card that everyone gets. So I guess we'll get the trading cards tomorrow. But this is our silver nitrate edition, and then this is our regular edition. So these are going out this week. I think the cards come tomorrow. So
what is silver nitrate?
Yeah,
Billy?
can you show that one again?
It's
What is
like
silver
old
nitrate?
timey. It's like old timey. Old timey like.
The old, yeah. You mean like when they took the photos on the piece of silver? Are you doing Mel Gibson again? I thought he was doing Mel Gibson for a second.
Right?
No, so we call it silver nitrate. It's just
that's cool.
Kind of silvery. I don't know. I don't do. Debbie does.
Well, wait a minute. Does that disintegrate like a silver nitrate?
And that's the cool thing about it. That this book costs $25 and it'll disintegrate in a decade.
In your hand.
Right. And we're gonna have a contest for whoever has the best conditioned one in a decade wins a prize.
Oh,
I'm going to draw my next book in flare markers so that in 20 years it goes down to nothing.
It's just gone.
So and then of course we have the Shige Crashers on Indiegogo right now. We're almost at $91,000. Thank you everybody. And and it launches this Thursday evening on Kickstarter. I'm gonna have a little launch party. I know you guys aren't big Kickstarter people out there,
I
but
like Kickstarter.
well, I'll send an invite if you guys want to pop on and just hawk your wares because we're gonna go on for 2 hours. So I don't know what I'm gonna talk about for 2 hours.
I'm not hawk touring you, dude. What are you talking about?
Ew.
Brian Polito's coming on. I reached out to Rini. I reached out to Art, but the number I have for him is the wrong number.
Did I send you the right one?
Oh, I don't know. Let me see.
Because that's the only one I have. So
Yeah, mine's different. Mine was like a 503 number or something.
I
530.
texted him. I will be at the Wolfman on Thursday night, but I'll see when I
that?
get back if you're still going. So
What's the Wolfman?
The movie.
the movie.
Dude, that cost that wolf man looks like shit. Does I mean I
How
get
could
you
you go
going.
and
I
see
want
that,
to
Andy?
see it too.
Okay, so I heard there's a 2-minute clip on YouTube of the transformation, which is actually pretty cool. 2, I heard the director say that that's not what he looks like. So I don't know. So I'll
Okay.
find out
Dude.
Thursday.
Maybe that's one of the stages.
Yeah, because if you watch the trailer, you do get a sense that it's not just like the typical Wolfman where he gets bit or whatever and he goes from human to boom full.
Right.
This movie looks like he might be going through stages, like you said. So
Ah.
Going through
I don't know.
stages. You guys ever see Teen Wolf?
Oh yeah.
You want to know something interesting? Do you know what Teen Wolf and Batman have in common?
Teen Wolf.
Jeff Loeb.
Somebody's in it. Who?
Jeff
Andy,
Loeb, huh?
Andy got it right.
Jeff Loeb.
Jeff Loeb wrote Teen Wolf.
Oh.
Yeah.
The film?
Yeah. Yes.
And
yeah.
Commando.
And Commando and the Whoopi Goldberg one.
Jeff
was it Robert?
Loeb wrote Commando?
I didn't know
Yes.
Jeff Loeb wrote Commando.
Yeah, he wrote Commando. Yeah, he wrote Commando.
Well, he wrote the story. He didn't do the finished screenplay, but he wrote the story.
Yeah.
That the screenplay
But
was.
yeah, but
But still.
I mean, he wrote Teen Wolf, bro. I mean,
Wait a minute. So he pitched these. So I don't know what Jeff did. I thought he was just like a friend of Rob's. I thought he was a
no,
Oh,
Jeff
no, he
came.
was-
Jeff came from Hollywood.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah, he was a.
Didn't
he
he
was a
also
Hollywood
write
guy.
Smallville?
I think he was a producer on
He was
it.
a
I know
producer.
He might have been a
Producer.
producer.
and I know he was definitely a producer on a lot of the Marvel stuff, like the Shield.
Good for him. I
stuff
like
and
Jeff
all that.
Loeb. Good for him.
Jeff's a good man.
Yeah.
Jeff's
Yeah.
a good man.
Good
But
dude.
yeah.
Yeah. Well,
I was
that's
just thinking
cool.
about
Then
going
on
through
my
those,
end,
but-
like I said,
Yeah.
all the links are down below.
Yeah.
KOR-DRATH guys got the hard copy proof of the game module in the
Ooh.
house because we're having these printed in
That was-
town.
Is that Dan Lawless on the cover?
That is Dan Lawless and Big Bad Boy Bart Sears on the cover, just
Oh
like
my
last
God.
time.
Oh my!
Just like the good old classic game modules. The cover comes off to make a shield for the Dungeon Master. You got the interiors, of course, that are stapled. And this time around, everybody's getting a player map as well. So they have the player map.
I don't even know what that
done.
is, dude. That looks cool.
It's all D&D stuff. And then we've got the mini print, of course, right now for Vordoom, all printed up. And the Adriana trading card. So there you go. Go back it. We get the 60 grand and we're doing a print of that art that Dan and Bart and Dan did.
Dude, that's
So,
gorgeous.
Thank you.
Very
So go
cool.
back it, guys, because it'll be coming down in February. I'm waiting on the last pages of colors, and then it gets put together and off to the printer. So
Outstanding.
check it out, everybody. All right, let's see. Boom. Oh, well, there you go. Cool. Well, thank you guys for joining us tonight. Hope you enjoyed seeing the different artwork and everything. Next week is supposed to be Art. So let's hope we'll get in touch with him, make sure everything's okay, and he should be hosting next week. So there you
Great
go.
show, buddy. I thought it was gonna be a lot more depressing than it was.
We're not doing a depressing show. We never do depressing shows.
No,
Really
what art
upbeat
do you
channel.
love and you wish you never got rid of? Because you were
Oh, yeah,
poor
yeah.
and you had to pay your
When your pet died,
yeah, yeah.
who'd you cry over the most?
That's right. Next week's show, what pet did you lose in your entire life that really upset you the most? Bring pictures and tissues.
Yes. Yeah.
So,
Until then,
until then, everybody have a great week. Oh, tomorrow, of course, Graybeards, I assume landing party.
yep.
And on the
Billy
DNA
and I-
show,
Carry on.
on the DNA show, first time guest. I've never even talked to this person, but I figured I'd reach out. We have political cartoonist AF Bronco
That's
on the show.
Awesome.
Cool.
Incredible,
So-
man. That's a whole
Yeah, he's
different different audience.
Oh, can
Hopefully
I
you
share
found-
something? I want to
found
share
his
something
people.
that
Yeah.
reminded me of the show tonight. So if I can share it, give me a second.
Oh boy.
And while he's busy doing that, I'll fill the air with "Come see Billy Tucci and me in Albuquerque,
That's right.
New Mexico this weekend."
That's right, man. We're gonna be in Albuquerque.
Yeah.
We're gonna find some nice restaurants. Go out one.
Dude, I heard it's cold as shit. Somebody told me
it is
bring,
cold.
bring
Yes.
the bring the chill gear. You think New Mexico? You think desert?
Yeah, Isaac's
Yeah,
like.
deserts are cold.
Ah!
All right, so this just reminded me of the show today. I don't know why, but
Dude, I watched all 5 hours of this.
Organizations that will help our veterans not every damn thing that they deserve because they signed on the dotted line.
So
all
let
the
me,
interrupting.
dude, I watched the whole thing, and when I saw that montage put together, all I could think of is, look in the mirror, ladies. This is why Pete doesn't want you in combat. Look how hysterical you are right now.
Yep, 100%.
Yeah. I thought the best line was when they were getting all high and mighty, and the one senator says, "Now, which one of you didn't show up at night for a vote drunk?"
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, that was so great. That was so.
So he
great.
called them all out for being hypocrites.
Oh yeah, yeah.
And he
And
just
the thing that killed me is Blumenthal. That
Oh.
honor stealing piece of shit. You know, claiming
He's
he
an
would be in
asshole.
Vietnam, he never was, and he's on the Armed Services Committee, and he's talking about financial responsibility because evidently Pete Hegseth, mismanaged or something like that. A Democrat talking about financial responsibility,
exactly.
and
Yeah.
him of all people,
Mhm.
stolen valor, dude. Jesus,
What
they
a
should-
piece of shit. He is
he-
such a piece of fucking shit.
He
It's
is
not even funny.
awful.
yeah.
And then what
Oh.
about with
No shame.
Pocahontas when she goes, so all you said you would have put something out there that generals cannot work for at least 7 years after they leave this
10.
position, they leave the generalship to work for defense. Well, you promise the same thing. What he says, he's like, well, I'm not a general.
Yeah.
That's what he said. And then it bounced back to a Republican after that. I can't remember who it was, but when he started, he goes, "So General Hegseth, oh wait, you're not a general." Sorry.
That's the whole
All right.
point.
Everybody have a great night. Thank you for joining us. We will catch you next week. Art to Bear's channel. Until then, bye-bye, everybody.